First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello, Braden Herrington here for upNXT, postwrestling.com, Apple Podcast, Spotify, whatever podcast app you're using, web thing, whatever. But of course, Tuesday nights, live on Twitch, twitch.tv/upNXT podcast. And usually you'll hear the great British tones of my co-host, my partner in crime, my roommate, my heterosexual life mate, but he's under the weather. One Davey Portman is sick. He went and got a COVID test yesterday, and he's negative, so he's feeling a little bit better. So he's already in good spirits. But I couldn't do this show alone, so I had to bring in some reinforcements because you hear the sounds going. It's War Games season, so I'm bringing in a general that I know from Post Wrestling, Mr. One Andrew Thompson. Hello, good sir.
I am fresh off the news beat, like literally fresh off the news beat, Braden. How you feeling, man? I appreciate you extending the invite, and blessings to the good brother Davey. Speedy recovery.
Yes.
The people miss you.
The streets miss you, Davey. They need you. They need you back. Yes. Actually, last week was the first upNXT I've ever missed since relaunching this from What's Next to upNXT. It was the first one I've missed. On an episode of NXT, and I went to Jack Harlow and pretty much just was chilling with Drake. He was chilling in the venue. It was like we were best friends from like across the room. But I had a vacation last week. He had John Cena on. They talked about the poker room and stuff. But then this week, Davey's away, so I thought we'd switch things up here. And I'm always glad to have you on, dude, because you've been killing it for not only postwrestling.com, but your interviews on your YouTube, man. Everyone should go follow Andrew because I know Post Wrestling's doing the get Post Wrestling to 10K, which they're fucking almost getting there. But dude, go give your quick plug because everyone should go follow your YouTube page.
I appreciate that, man. Everybody go check it out at Andrew Thompson Interviews YouTube channel. Greatly appreciate the plug. That was very nice of you. Very nice.
No, because you're killing it, man. You're going through everything. You're like the fine-tooth comb of these wrestling news and stuff. Like if it doesn't come from you, I has to, like I always see it has to come from you. Everything you post is awesome. So I had to give that out there, and I know that you've been podcasting a lot and doing more and more and more. So it's awesome to see the Post family, you know.
Yeah, we definitely on the way up, and I'm feeling the pressure, man, because we got to live up to that All Out review we did, which was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, was it All Out? Yeah, All Out. That's right. Yeah, which was great. Yeah, that's right. Well, we got to do some more shows in the near future, especially the new year's going to be coming soon. We definitely got to do some stuff. We had Way on for Best Match Ever on the Patreon. Andrew, I think that's a show we need to get you on. Because what would you pick for a best match ever category? You don't have to name it or anything, but like what kind of things would come up your alley for a show like that where we go through certain matches of whether it's like a gimmick or a person or a feud and kind of rate them. We've done Flair Steamboat. Wade just picked the SmackDown 6. We've done best match ever Brett, best match ever Hell in the Cell stuff. Just it's all over the place. But what would you pick?
Just off. Probably recency bias because I just watched. We just watched NXT. Go back and look at that match that Gargano had with Almas from Andrade El Idolo from Takeover Philly. Oh
wow! I mean, yeah, that's Davey's favorite match ever. He was at that match. We got a shirt with that Gargano and Almas and Chill on it. He'll gladly take you up on talking about that when he's 100% for sure. So that's something down the line. I know you're always into the news and putting out the news. I have you here. I mean, what's going on? Because every time I do a show, again, I missed doing upNXT last week, but in a blink of an eye, it was like, hey, 10 more wrestlers released. WWE releases these people. Now these people are gone.
Yeah.
So I actually we do a thing here on NXT when they move up to the main roster, we pour one out. They graduated, they're gone, we celebrate. But then it just started becoming everyone's getting fired and everyone getting released. So that's the pour one out now. And off the top, because I have not been able to do it straight on a show, is pour one out for Hit Row.
Yeah, man. That is like one of the most confusing things, but not so not necessarily surprising, because I mean I think we all know at this point that WWE, they view most of their talents as expendable. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I do want to know that we all know how WWE views their talents. I think they just kind of view them as a spoke on the wheel. Like they like to keep their product to the point where if somebody leaves or multiple people leave, things won't really change. And I think that's how they like to keep things. And I think it's really gonna. I can only imagine what it's like working there, like knowing like at any time, at any point, like you could get cut. I'm pretty sure that's not a fun environment to be in at all. But like it's crazy because I legit remember when Hit Row first debuted, or when they first debuted, but more so when they got in the swing of things. I remember you and Davey were very, very high on them, and then to kind of see how things have changed so much since then is crazy. And honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you, Braden. I think that the only reason they called up Hit Row was so they can put intact the 90-day no compete instead of the 30-day no compete.
Wow.
Like I think that because NXT talents, when you're contracted to NXT, you get the 30-day, and then when you get to the main roster, you get the 90-day. Right. And like I think that was probably the only reason for doing that, to sort of delay the possibility of a Hit Row reunion outside the company. But just a quick thought about them. I think Isaiah Scott, Shane Strickland, like he's about to go and do like a whole bunch of other stuff. Like I'm hopeful that
because I do this thing on this show where I'll do it like 8 times later, where I say such and such should be all elite, and I think out of a lot of the releases from WWE, I think he's someone that down the line you could see this guy doing your GCWs, like doing. Yes. And this guy was a hardcore deathmatch style wrestler, and he didn't get to quite show it off before. Like, I've seen him do some crazy Lucha Underground, right? What was he? Kill Shot or something?
Yeah, Kill Shot. Yep.
Yeah, like he's got it. And then this guy came in now and he created this. He finally, how hard he was working on this like music / producer / like wrestler character. Like he was putting in the work so hard, and it came together. And then just for the tablecloth to be pulled off just like that, it's like, nah, he's gonna bounce back, and he's gonna be one of the biggest guys, not just on the indies, but like, man, I could see him wrestling everywhere. He's got the wrestling skill, but he's also got the swag. Like again, the music and stuff, it was hitting. That Cypher was like, okay, they should be on the main roster right now. They should be the champion. Like, what the fuck? Like, so many people caught onto that and was like, what is that? And yeah, unfortunately, Top Dollar, like, he was feuding with the Bucks. So I mean, I don't know if there's anything kind of there. He's all right. Like, he's definitely got his social media presence and stuff. But I know that there was some beef with them, and he made the diss tracks and stuff, but I don't know if that'll block. Do you think Hit Row will stay as an act, or do you think Swerve will go his own way?
So I wouldn't mind seeing them go as an act, man, but like I feel like Swerve about to take over the game, man. Like I feel like him as a singles talent is where the money at. Like, and bro, even he got a spot waiting for him on New Japan Strong. Like, Rocky Romero did an interview today, and he was like, I don't know how WWE would even think about letting Swerve go, but he was like if he want to come to NJPW Strong, come on.
Yeah.
Rocky is essentially like one of the people that's helping put together those shows and stuff. So that's basically more than likely the booker that's saying, I would love to have him on Strong. So he got him a spot waiting for him if he decides to go that route. But yeah, I mean, you can definitely go either way as far as getting all 4 of them together. But I think we'll more so see Hit Row reunite on the music front opposed to the in-ring front.
Yeah. That's for sure. I definitely see that, because they've been making music and stuff together as well. So and music videos and everything. So like, that's pretty sweet. But definitely Swerve, Shane Strickland, if he's gonna go back to that name, I'm not sure, but he's someone you were just clicking. Everything was coming together perfectly. Why weren't you, like, they fucked up hard with that one. They how long till we see John Morrison turn into Johnny Dynamite.
Johnny Dynamite or Johnny Strong Style or Johnny whatever.
God.
Johnny whatever his name is. But not like. But when I think back, what was that? February 2020 when he first came back, or January 2020, and they instantly his first appearance on the show was he came out of a locker room, the Mrs. Locker Room, and like his run in WWE, like I think they just always viewed him as like a solid hand, like a guy who's around. You get a good match out of him here and there, but I don't think they ever had any plans to like do anything legit with Morrison, especially coming off that great run he had in Impact too.
Yeah, like I remember when he was still. I'm a big fan of Jim Morrison, and that was his gimmick at one point in WWE was he was just trying to be Jim Morrison. It was really weird, but I always thought his wrestling was fun. But yeah, he's someone who could go back to Impact or anything as well too. Yeah, I mean Ashanti the Adonis. We kind of talked about Hit Row, but if Hit Row does stick together, I mean there he's got a spot. But I'm sure there's other opportunities that he could go to. Who else was released? You got everyone.
You got Drake Maverick. Drake Maverick was left, and this is just the recent releases. Like they released 26 people total this month.
Right.
So so this is only the most recent 8. They got of course we just mentioned Hit Row, being Ashanti the Adonis, Top Dollar, and Isaiah Swerve Scott.
Oh, Tegan Knox.
Yeah, Tegan Knox is out of there.
Damn.
John Morrison is gone. Drake Maverick, Shane Thorne, and Jackson Riker.
Wow.
No comment. No comment.
Oh man, Jackson Riker's gone. Fuck. I'm never watching WWE again. Damn. I don't. Anyway, like, yeah, Tegan Knox. Tegan Knox is interesting because Knox County, Lady Kane, she was pretty great, but she got hurt with so many injuries and stuff.
Man. Hey, Braden, can I ask you, like, for somebody that's been focusing on NXT for the last, how many years, like, did you always think there was a more of a story to be told between Tegan Knox and Rhea Ripley?
There was way more of a story with Tegan Knox and Rhea Ripley. Even Tegan Knox and Dakota Kai, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
She turned. Yep.
Yeah. I didn't understand the call up. I mean, I don't understand anything that's going on in this company here, because here we are talking about all these people getting released, and some of them we think are like just should be shoo-ins for main spots in wrestling right now, and they're all let go to make way for $100 million Cleopatra egg.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched Survivor Series. We did a watch along, and that was the first WWE show I've watched front to back for so long, and it felt like I was just watching one big commercial with maybe 2 matches that moved the needle somewhat. I liked Becky and Charlotte, but everything else just felt like it would drag. And then there was literally the Pizza Hut ad that just made me so mad. I got some heat on Twitter because I said Pizza Hut sucks. But after watching that,
it does suck.
It does suck. Okay.
It does suck.
It is different in Canada. Like for those wondering, it is a little bit different, but it still sucks here. Sorry. I'm not even sorry. Fuck Pizza Hut. Except Montez Ford coming out with the red Pizza Hut cup definitely got a pop from me, but everything else made me sour because I was like, man, they're doing this in Brooklyn when there's like legit pizza places like all around the place. No, they should be booing Pizza Hut. I'm sorry. Fuck no, I'm still not sorry. Fuck Pizza Hut.
hey, Braden, if you were Triple H, like if you were literally in this position, like would you even want to come back to work? Like, do you even think it's a point?
Fuck, man. Like, I can't even explain. Like, what is that? Like, you go away, you got a serious thing, and you're recovering, hopefully, really well, and then you just come back, and it's like all I can think of is like, there's a GIF from Community where Troy walks into a room with a pizza, smiling, but then he walks in and everything's just on fire. That's like Triple H is just coming back into like what a big mess, unless he's the shaman that MSK are trying to find to get things back in order. But no, I don't know what his role is. I mean, we've been talking about Triple H going to start his own Fed. What do you think of that, Andrew?
That sounds like something he could get into. But
no,
I just can't see it happening. Like him departing WWE, but like, man, I can only imagine. Like I know that probably got to be one of the worst feelings. Like, cause I really think that what AEW is doing is what he
Yes.
probably wanted to do, is like
Yes,
have like
yes.
a live weekly touring show with these, arenas and stuff like that. And then like now that all that is gone. Like
Nah,
that's over with, bro.
for me, it's like Vince McMahon made so much of what wrestling is. He's like made it so popular. He's got everyone into it. And then now it's just, I think it was time where Triple H could have taken over a Monday Night Raw and turned it into something that he thought was the right way. And I think it would, if he eventually did that with what he did with NXT, that's kind of what AEW is doing. They totally, not to say they stole his thunder, but like he had same visions is what they're doing. Like AEW does a lot of the similar things that were his kind of ideas for his baby that was NXT. I'm talking about it like it's dead because it is dead. No, but like I feel like if this guy, like, I'm not gonna be that guy who's like when Vince dies, Triple. It's like, look, one day Vince won't be around and someone's got to run this thing. I think if it were to be Triple H in this time frame now, maybe even a few years back, he would be running a pretty awesome promotion, a pretty awesome TV show, just like he was running for a long time. That not all the eyes were on, and yes, it was developmental, but he was poaching the cool talent. I mean, they were poaching everyone just to fire.
They was poaching the
fire
shit out of
everyone,
Andy's, bro.
Yeah, I mean, just to release it. They're so petty, honestly. So I just feel like he is someone who, like, for real, just likes wrestling as well. Like, he's like that guy. So I really genuinely think that he had a stronger vision in the past few years. It took a long time for every wrestling fan to gain back the respect to Triple H. Like we all were like, yeah, we still remember the Reign of Terror. We still remember WrestleMania 19. We're not getting over it. So, but yeah, I feel like that would be the direction. Did you catch any Survivor Series? Did you like anything or any thoughts of it? Because the egg thing also pissed me off.
You want to know what's funny? Like I'm like legit having to think about like what I remember from Survivor Series. Like I mean, it feels like the show was kind of. You know what? You want to know what? Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair was probably the best match on the show. To be honest with you, I think the Big E and Roman Reigns match. I think them constantly promoting The Rock did that match no favors at all.
Yeah,
like because. And I mean, like it's out there now that The Rock is, I think he's filming Young Rock in Australia. So like, it was no way that he was going to be able to even be at the show, but it was just the way they were sort of setting it up and promoting him. It made it seem like he was going to be at the show. And then, switching around the main events, like, when that came on, when that report came out, people thought, oh, he must be showing up now. So they switched the main events. So I just don't get the thing behind that. I don't think it did Big E or Roman no favors as far as the crowd goes. One thing I didn't get, I was like, the crowd started the CM Punk chants during the Women's Survivor Series match. I'm like, y'all should have did that during that damn Pizza Hut Battle Royal, because that was the worst.
Yeah,
one of the worst things on the show, if not the worst thing on the show. And like, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
but Survivor
I agree.
Series, it just felt like another TV show, to be honest with you.
Oh man, I liked Becky Charlotte, but I couldn't really care about anything else. And I thought the whole time they're jerking off The Rock for a false finish. Like he's not there. Even the clip of Jimmy Fallon and Roman Reigns. Jimmy Fallon's like, yo, is The Rock going to show up? And Roman's like, I don't know. So it's like, yo, this is some tomfoolery. I stopped watching everything but NXT cold turkey when they promoted, damn well knowing it wasn't going to happen, Sasha versus Bianca at SummerSlam. And I watched SummerSlam, and when they announced that, and then Becky did her dirty, I was like, "Yo, I'm done. I'm so done. I can't believe you got me in to watch SummerSlam." But and then I watched Survivor Series just because I was like, "Yeah, why not?" But it felt so lazy. Like, if this is still what it is, like, man, I would love to be let go from WWE. Look at Buddy Matthews. Go have this guy just fought Okada. What were you doing before? Eating catering? Like, yo, live your life. Go do this. If wrestling is somewhat of an art form, and if you're in the business, you're somewhat of an artist. And there's a lot of people out there that perform and love to entertain and love the art form fact of it. And you're not getting that in WWE 100%. So go fight in a GCW, go fight in Japan or all over the place, because it's so interesting. Yes, WWE gets the most eyes and the most viewers, but their show sucks. It sucks so hard. Maybe it's just not for me. I'm 30. Is it aimed for still just aimed at 12-year-olds? Like, fuck, man.
But the show is not interesting at all. Like, I would say the only reason I'm tuned in is, of course, because I'm covering it for the site. But I like the stuff that they're doing with Big E. Of course, I like seeing. I don't know how, but they've somehow bounced back Bianca Belair from that loss at SummerSlam. I don't know how they did it. I'm not even gonna give them credit. I'm gonna give her credit because she just got the
exactly
charisma to get herself out that situation. I think the Reigns stuff is good. Like Reigns is probably like the only person who they allow just complete free range with what he does, and it's so obvious. And like it's really funny how they literally have the formula to get talents over right in their face, which is just letting them do them on TV and giving them a little bit of elbow room to work with, like they do with Roman Reigns. And I'm pretty sure if you let these professionals go out there and do what they know how to do, you would probably have more compelling storylines, more interesting characters. But it's like they're so like very controlled with like everything, and unless you're that upper echelon of talent in their eyes, you will never be able to have that type of freedom.
Yeah, it's true. I think I look at so many of the talented roster. It's stacked with so many people that are awesome, and the Big E Roman match didn't really click for me as much. I don't think I'm as high on Roman as many people. It's just he literally does like that Superman punch like 7 times in a match. It's like it's literally his only move. I know people gave Cena the 5 moves of Doom thing, and that's the whole. Everyone has their 5 moves of Doom, but literally his 5 moves are just the spear and this punch. I just literally do other moves and you'll be great. But he still just keeps doing these punches. This Superman
and the
punch.
dialogue also as another move.
Yeah, I don't know. His matches don't click for me as many other people, but the character and the story works really well. And Big E has been hitting a groove too, and I love the Seinfeld gear he was rocking. But yeah, that show was not good at all, and especially with all the people being released. Then they make the thing about the egg. The egg thing was so fucking stupid as well. I couldn't stand it. It's just like, wow, that's the best story out of the weekend is Seth Rollins getting attacked on Monday Night Raw. Like, that's the most over and more interesting thing ever. Vince wishes he could write a story like that. Because that's the thing everyone's talking about. It's the most interesting thing. No one cares. And by the way, you shouldn't hop over the barrier. I know there's...
Please stop doing that dumb shit.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Sorry.
Please.
So stupid. Ridiculous. Yeah, I don't catfished and stuff. Definitely, you deserve to get boots to the head if you do that kind of stuff. There's so many releases, and I just want to say pour one out for all the talent we're losing at NXT and in WWE, because there's all this talk about contracts. What do you know about these contracts, Andrew? Because I have my eye on some talent that I think might be let go from WWE because of their contracts, and 2 of them are on the show tonight that I'm interested in. And I think Johnny Gargano may have wrestled his last NXT TV match tonight.
Oh yeah, well, those reports came from Fightful Sean Ross Sapp, who first reported that O'Reilly and Johnny Gargano's contracts, they both did a WWE contract expire next month, and I'm pretty sure you remember John Pollock. Our own guy John Pollock had reported that O'Reilly and Gargano had a dark match on SmackDown. I'm pretty sure that was a Vince thing. Like let's see what you got type of thing. And I don't know how that went, but yeah, Gargano, man, like I'm pretty sure everybody saw he changed his bio. Like he took the NXT stuff out, and it was just he put professional wrestler. I think the only thing that's left up there is the WWE shop stuff. And
well, all his stuff is on clearance.
Yeah, that too. And with O'Reilly, I'm with Dave, Braden, and I'm pretty sure when you and Davey do the BD Elite reviews, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the small hints, or not even small, the big hints about a Red Dragon reunion on that show. They keep pushing Bobby Fish to the sideline and keep leaving him hanging. Somebody got to have his back. So I think you can kind of see some of the sort of the writing on the wall, man. Like even with it's kind of fun to speculate even about Kevin Owens as well. But yeah, I think you probably spot on with Gargano, and and O'Reilly. I think they probably on their way out. I can't like. I can definitely see like O'Reilly being locked in because I really don't think that AEW will be teasing this like Bobby Fish story like this sort of growing tension or just miscommunication with Adam Cole and the Bucks without a solid plan in place. But with Gargano, I don't know. I can see Gargano hitting the independents for sure and just killing it. Like I can definitely see that happening if that's a route that he wants to go.
Yeah, 100%. Johnny could be, again, one of these King of the Indies guys and just go around. I would love to see so many dream matchups with Johnny versus anyone in All Elite Wrestling. Kyle, going back, there's so much to do with Red Dragon, Bobby Fish. You can even do Undisputed Era. There's so many avenues you can do. So I feel like it makes sense. Their NXT was hitting its stride. They had Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor putting on a classic, and then Kyle just gets put back into this weird best friend babysitting role with Von Wagner, and it's just so awkward. I feel like he could be two guys that are like amazing, and under this like this stranglehold from WWE, that would be awesome to see somewhere else. Same with Kevin Steen, that would be super awesome.
SmackDown superstar Von Wagner. Put some respect with his name.
Yeah,
right?
sorry. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, Big Von. Yeah, definitely. And then last one is Scotty Too Hottie. Yo, did you see this?
Yeah, that's
so
that's something, man. He requested his release.
This guy was like, "Yo, fuck y'all, I'm out." Fuck them kids, bro.
Yeah, he started in 2016 at the PC. Because we all remember Scotty from his days in the early 2000s. Too Cool, tag team champion. I think he was a lightweight heavyweight champion too. But yeah, that was a real surprising one for a coach to come out and publicly announce they requested their release from WWE.
This guy's working on and training so many great people there, and then they all get released. So really, what's he doing there? So like maybe he sees elsewhere. Maybe he just didn't make him happy, and he wants to move on to something else. But damn, man, Scotty Too Hottie. Like, wasn't he also like a firefighter? So maybe he can go back. Yeah, he can go back to firefighting. I mean, like you're like he's done it all. Not only did he do all those other things, like you just said, he's a pro wrestler. He's a former tag champ. I think firefighter, wrestler. But the Migos also named a song after him. And I mean, like that's like once you hit that, like you're good. But this reading this like open letter he wrote. Was like, damn, okay, things are not good in the land of, I was going to say black and gold, but just paint splatter, but very interesting.
Bro, it's like, it's a whole, like, different, like, it's NXT too, it's a full-blown developmental now, bro. It's not even like it's a wrestling product, but it's an entertainment product, but it's like, it's just like full-blown developmental. But like real quick, before like while we on the news, did you happen to see the Rocky Romero had revealed something very, very interesting? He said that Kenny Omega was the one that reached out to New Japan to bring Kenta into AEW, and I think everybody is well aware of the relationship or the way New Japan felt about Omega leaving to go join AEW. They were not happy in the slightest about that happening, but Omega was the one that reached out to them, and they were able to do business to get Kenta over to AEW, because you remember when Kenta and Moxley were going at it, that was originally NJPW strong like type thing. Right. And then Omega got in contact with them, and they, I'm assuming they, talk things out or whatever like that, and they was able to make it happen to get Kenta over to AEW. And Rocky said that, despite how NJPW felt about the way Omega left the company, he said Omega reaching out to them was a real big step. So if anybody was ever doubtful about the idea of Omega returning to Japan and doing, a couple matches, I think it's more likely now, especially considering, bro, because that match that Kenta had in AEW, what was that, like in March or February or something like that?
That was the Kenta thing was kind of the start of this Forbidden Door, right?
That was last year, right?
Yeah.
Fuck, yeah. Man. So if Omega, well, either way, it's feel like a long ass time ago, but like either way, if Omega was able to have that open line of communication with New Japan after sort of the bad relationship or the fallout, I think it's a great chance that he might be wrestling in Japan, like once he gets all healed up and stuff. Like I definitely think it's more of a possibility, especially knowing that they've talked before and worked something out.
Okay, well, I haven't talked about it in a while, but if you've been listening to me, my end game of wrestling is Kenny going back for that one more match with Coda. We need that in a dome show. So I mean, if you're saying this whole time Kenny's the reason that there was some good blood between a partnership between New Japan and AEW, then that means like down the line they're going to be willing to do like a match like that, or ever go back to, years from now, Kenny versus Okada one more time, or Okada Danielson, I think is something that should be featured in a big show. So I'm not talking obviously this year's Wrestle Kingdom, but possibly the following year in Japan. I would book. I mean, they're doing like 9 straight nights of wrestling anyways, right? They're gonna book. They gotta be booking Kenny versus Coda in some sort of iteration, and Danielson Okada is what I would go for too, because I would buy a plane ticket and a ticket to the show and count me in, because I'd be going. You get me. You would get me to go to watch those matches. But that's my end game. Kenny Coda, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. That's awesome though. That's crazy. That also just letting that slip.
Yeah, exactly.
Casual Rocky. He's spending too much time in Roppongi.
Rocky, don't let me catch you on no more podcasts. I'm gonna keep catching you slipping like that.
He had too much. He probably had a hard night in Roppongi, and he forgot what he was saying.
You would know it's funny. I'm one of the people just talking and passing. Like he probably didn't think like nothing of it. Yeah, that's like a big ass like little news item to drop in a podcast.
Just a little thing like, wait, I thought New Japan and Kenny hated each other. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that could set up so much stuff following. It's like Kenny's going away for a little while, but it's also because like the pandemic's still a thing. Like not everywhere is back to the way we quite were, but we're eventually going to get there. And I'd say in a year or so, that's definitely something that's possible, where they would want to do big matches like that, where they know people would travel and where you're allowed to make noise in the matches. I know that they're easing up on that, but yeah. I'm not super into the New Japan stuff lately, just because it's been super cold. But I will for sure be watching Wrestle Kingdom, probably both nights. Oh, and the Noah stuff, right?
Yes, that's
is pretty cool.
The Noah stuff is very entertaining. Like
I checked out some of Noah like in the past year or so. Like I cherry pick some of the matches usually at the end of the year, or when I hear there's some buzz, and like I've liked them and stuff, but it still doesn't feel like they've been a very, very hot product. It could be, it was still like the wrestling's still good, but kind of like New Japan, it's still just the pandemic definitely hurt a lot.
With the possibilities of the Noah and New Japan show is entertaining. Like it's like just, I think it's just more so like the speculatory stuff, like what could happen, and I think some of the booking decisions are going to be hilarious as far as like who goes over or not and stuff like that. But but pretty much like New Japan, Noah has kind of been the same way. It's like an up and down product. They have their hot spots, and especially throughout the pandemic. I think a lot of the wrestling scene in Japan has been hit really hard by the pandemic, especially like with the loss of fans and like them not being able to cheer and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's been sort of a rough go for a lot of promotions and companies in Japan. But with this joint show stuff, I get, you can only assume that it's going to help, generate some type of excitement. Is that a Devil Horn Chris Jericho shirt behind you?
A Devil Horn Chris Jericho?
Yeah.
I have a painting of Kenny Omega as Jesus and Chris Jericho as the devil on our set.
Look at that.
Because I liked their feud. That was the last time I traveled for some New Japan, when I went to that match. And I'm saying if they start booking some crazy stuff in the next year, once like again the pandemic ends and they can start doing these dream matchups and booking, there's so many different mix-up and matches you can do that people like myself will be willing to go to long distances to stuff. But while I have you, AEW needs to stop going to Chicago. They need to start going to some cool places, because like it's wintertime. Go to California, go to somewhere warm, and people will follow.
Hey, Braden, let me tell you something. As long as you got CM Punk on that roster, you hit Chicago as many times as you can. You see how many tickets left for that show on Wednesday? Zilch. Nothing.
Okay.
As long as they have CM Punk on that roster, hit Chicago as many times. But they gonna sell it out every time. Because
Yeah.
CM Punk is on the roster, bro. CM Punk, like I know people like to use this word, but when he's in Chicago, he is legitimately the draw. Like,
Sure. No, 100%. Yeah.
just off the strength that they know he's going to be there. Like, I'm not saying that's the only reason why they coming, but he's a big name. Like, you know what I'm saying? And also they got Cole Cabana making his hometown return, man, to Chicago next week. He about to get his ass beat by Bryan Danielson, but it's gonna be a very welcome home to Cole Cabana.
Yeah. Welcome home to Chicago. Yeah, I mean, again, we'll get into NXT, but I've been super high on AEW as a product. I've been loving.
Bro,
that
it's
stuff.
fun, bro. It's a fun show, bro.
It hit every box. Like, it has the series, it's got the great feuds, it's got the match qualities, all that stuff. I don't quite agree with some of the Meltzer ratings on the All Out stuff, but I also thought it was a high rated show. I thought that was one of the best pay-per-views in a long time.
Really?
And people were saying that about All Out too. No, I loved MJF Darby, and I loved Kenny Hangman, and Punk Kingston was pretty awesome as well, man. I was super high on that pay-per-view, so I've been loving this run. Again, I went to Grand Slam because I was like, man, I gotta go to this match. I've been loving the stuff they've been doing. They've been knocking it out the park. Definitely bringing me back in, like, as a fan, investing. Yeah, I like do podcasts and stuff about this stuff because I love it, but it definitely just sucks me into it and just gets me so hyped. I've been loving it, and I can't wait to see, like, where do you see the Revolution show? Where do you see Danielson Hangman? Is that gonna happen? Where do you see that kind of stuff?
Revolution is in March or February, right? That's the February.
Yeah, it's
March
wild. It's a while away.
Yeah. For Revolution, I'm going Adam Cole versus Hangman, world title.
Adam Cole versus Hangman.
Adam Cole. Bro, I'm telling you, bro. Adam Cole is like one of the most polished, like, ready-made main event guys in AEW right now. Like, he's ready, and I think that's a big credit to. I'll be honest with you, to NXT. Like, I said this on a couple podcasts before. Like, I think he was already like a very, like, good to great talent, and I think when he went to NXT, they just polished him up, and then now he's in AEW, young 32-year-old Adam Cole, main event ready. So yeah, I definitely see that happening. And for, like, I maybe we see a Keith Lee appearance in 2022.
Hell
hopefully.
yeah, please.
I'm hoping to see that. And then real quick before we get into NXT, because I know we're gonna get into it, but if you had to make just a random prediction off the top of your head, who do you think is gonna show up at the Winter Is Coming show in December, or do you think it's just gonna be there won't be a debut on the show, but if you had to guess about somebody that's out there, who would you think would be showing up in that show?
Well, can you have a Keith Lee? Because I don't think the 90 days would be up, right?
Yeah, it's not gonna be up by then. It's not gonna be up by then.
Well, I mean, it's winter is coming, so usually there's snow. But I mean, you could have the Rainmaker show up. But I don't know, because there was a lot of people talking about Okada and stuff just because he was over there. But don't you dare and they wouldn't just throw Okada in a, like, random tag match on a Dynamite, because that would just make it a little weird. I don't want to say they did my boy Ishii dirty, but
they did him like that.
Okay,
no shade. They did him like that.
Yeah. Like, it just is like, yo, this guy's fucking lit. Like, I wish, like, I try to tell people who only watch certain things, I'm like, no, like, this guy is amazing. Like, and here he is in this tag team match against Matt Hardy's lackeys, and I'm like, all right, whatever.
They could at least give him his own thing, like, let him, get the, but I was
yeah. So Winter's Coming is probably Danielson versus Hangman, I imagine.
For sure. Yeah,
and I think Hangman should retain.
Oh, no question. No
but
question.
Adam Cole, Adam Cole makes sense, man. That would be a banging match too. Adam Cole is on fire. Definitely one of the best.
But you want to know what's so crazy about AEW? Bro, it feels like AEW is like when Hangman won the title, it felt like, okay, now this is like chapter 2 of all elite wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. It felt like chapter. That was chapter 2. Like, chapter 1 is like them starting out and then getting to maybe like the Kenny, like something along the lines of the Kenny thing. But yeah, it definitely feels like it's a whole new, like, season. Like, WWE does that bullshit where they're like, season premiere of Raw. It's like, no, this is now feels like last week was the season premiere where, like, oh shit, it's a whole new, like, board game, a whole new war battlefield, all that stuff. And yeah, there's so many different things that, again, it makes me excited to watch this stuff. And the matches and the character development and everything is just it's great. It's getting my attention. And that's what I'm trying to say is they should bring their asses up here to the north, because Toronto would absolutely love to go to some AEW, so they need to get up here real quick. I'm tired of going to Chicago. Well, it seems like they're New York country now after that stink bomb Survivor Series. So AEW, New York City again, or Queens again, probably next year. So New York is AEW company. New York is all elite.
They're gonna be back in New York in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah,
the UBS
right.
arena.
Oh right, and WWE's gonna be doing it too.
Yep, next week.
That's crazy. Yeah, well, hopefully they put on a good show.
Empty seats.
Yeah, empty. We'll see. Yeah. I still bet they'll put on a better show than whatever WWE puts on. Something about an egg or something. Well, I'm dreading to talk about NXT. I should say that we will be doing a BD Elite every Wednesday night. Me and Davey do BD Elite. We chat about Dynamite. It's on this very free feed. But we're gonna be taking a break tomorrow, so we might be doing one of these shows on Thursdays, depending on Davey's feeling in our schedules. But for all purposes, we will be returning next week to normal schedules with Tuesdays NXT and Wednesdays Dynamite, recording 10:15 p.m. on the Twitch. And if you follow us on the Twitch, people, you should have followed live or the replay, which is still up on our Twitch and our YouTube, of the BDE Survivor Series Draft 3. Andrew, I know you're very familiar with the Survivor Series Draft. You've played in them before. You've killed it. You slayed it before. This year we just had our third one, and your boy got jobbed out real bad, Andrew. I got clapped. No one liked my idea. I came up with, my team was Honor Forever. I had Danielson, Joe, Styles, Briscoes, and Maria Kanellis, and no one voted for me, and I lost.
Damn.
So,
you missed the trick. You should have picked Matilda, the bulldog.
Well, it's funny you say that, because the guy who won, Mr. Fire Frank, the BD champion, he had the title on the line. We had Colby Carino playing with us as well, and as well as Brennan Sockler, who joined us, and it was quite a thing. Again, the podcast is up on the Patreon, but the video is free. Go watch it. It was crazy. But the winner, who retained the title, Fire Frank, his team was lit. His team was the fire department. He had Kane. He had Ricky the Dragon Steamboat as the manager. He had Too Fast, Too Fuego from AEW, Fuego del Sol, and the other guy. And who else did he? Atsushi Onita. So his team was all fire, and he retained the title, which is crazy. But we also announced.
Shout out to Frank.
Yeah, I had to give. I'm proud of you, Frank. I'm proud of you, but I didn't get to go back to back with my draft. But we will be doing a BDE Royal Rumble again this year, so stay tuned, guys. But go check it out, and shout out to everyone involved and who hung around and everything. But we got to get you in that Rumble, Andrew. You and Wei Ting had a epic rivalry all of last year. Rivalry of the year, honestly. So got to get you back in the ranks there. So that Rumble coming soon. But it was a lot of fun. So shout out Davey for putting in the work, and I know Dickie Bird helps out, and just everyone, all you guys, the upNXT experts, the BD community. We love you guys. And that's why you should go to patreon.com/upnext, because next week is St. Andrew's Day, which I know you're going to be celebrating because you're an Andrew.
That's so bad.
And
that's a bad joke.
Me and Davey are. It's quite possibly. I don't know if you've heard of this movie. Have you heard of the movie Loch Ness?
I have not.
Yeah, I didn't think so. We're going to be reviewing it this week for St. Andrew's Day. It has Ted Danson going to explore the mystery of the Loch Ness Monster. That's all I can say, but that's coming out this week on the Patreon, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to this very random review, but we talk all about myths and all sorts of random shit.
Hey, Braden, if you and Davey ever review How High, please bring me on. Please.
Yo,
please.
Yo, I'll get you on. I'll definitely have to put in a word. And Davey's getting good at. He can't roll his own, but he started getting the cones, so he knows how to fill him with the cones, which means he's starting to get closer and closer to rolling his own. So he's on his way there, Andrew. And then one last show we're going to put out this week for all our patrons. It's an Up Yours from one world champ patron, Mr. Dan Reed, who has picked, because it's the 5th anniversary. 5 years ago, NXT Toronto featuring DIY, FTR, 2 out of 3 falls. I think Ty Dillinger, Bobby Roode, Nakamura Joe, I think it is. So we're going to be talking all about that on the Patreon. 5 years ago to take over Toronto, the first one 5 years ago. So that's a show that's on the Patreon. But it's only $5 North American tier. Go sign up because you get access to all the past shows in the catalog. That's almost 400 podcasts. All the retro NXT reviews, movie reviews, everything. It is up there. And hey, while you're at it, at upNXT Podcast on Twitter for all the updates. Since Instagram banned us for no reason at all. Well, be careful, Andrew. They might come for you next. The Zuckerberg might be after you. Watch out. Shit. They just shut us down. They hate us, bro. They hate us. They hate us because they ain't us. Let's talk about NXT from November 23rd, 2021. We start off with the classic WWE intro, but it's interrupted by Grayson Waller, who just all of a sudden comes in. He's like, no, and he basically stops. He's in the middle of the ring now. He's in the ring. I've not quite seen this before, so I did like this take where he's just literally stopping the intro of the show. He's like, enough of these has-beens. Turn it off. It's Grayson Waller time. And then he starts cutting a promo. He runs down The Rock. He runs down Roman Reigns, runs down Ciampa. And then he says, when it comes to this place, it's all about sports entertainment. And people will think of John Cena, Roman, The Rock, Grayson, Waller. And, well, then he's interrupted by Ciampa. But what did you think of this, like, kind of interesting take on how to start a show?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I for what it was, I thought it was different to start the show like this, especially in this. I think it more so works in this sort of enclosed environment of NXT 2.0. You can kind of see everybody's really close range, so it just kind of works. And honestly, as far as the match goes, I was kind of surprised that Grayson Waller lasted as long as he did. I thought it was gonna be like a quick squash, quick win for Ciampa.
Yeah, it's Alan Angel's Grayson Waller because it's Ciampa versus. Didn't it feel that way? But no, I'm not too big on whatever they've been doing with this guy. But to be fair, this had my attention. He cut an interesting promo, and then he has to face Ciampa here in this match. And it starts off with Ciampa just hitting him with a series of his running knees. Waller eventually counters the move and hits a neck breaker, and then starts beating him down. Hits the Rock's spinebuster, goes for the people's elbow, but it's missed. During picture-in-picture, he beats down on Ciampa, but when we come back, he gets a knee to the face. There's a cool spinebuster move from Waller for a near fall. Again, they're actually going back and forth. It's not just some sort of squash. Ciampa off the second rope hits an air raid crash for a near fall. Again, Waller kicking out of that shows he's got some spunk. He then hits a cravat with knee strikes to Ciampa and goes for this torture rack kind of flipping, like, I don't know, flapjack kind of move and an elbow drop, but Ciampa kicks out of it. There's then this crazy block where Ciampa like rolls Waller backwards, which then sends him into the ropes, then connects with the Willow's Bell, the fairy tale ending, and Ciampa pins Waller. But yeah, kind of like you said, I figured this would just be Ciampa running through Waller just like that, but it actually was a whole match, and I thought Waller actually kind of shined.
Yeah, he did show up, and I think that's more so of just really backs up the change in this NXT 2.0 format. Like, you know, you want to start seeing the younger guys, some of the fresh faces, like they're not going to be viewed as these enhancement talents as maybe they once were when the crowd was hot and in full sale, man. Like those days are fully done, and I mean, if you're gonna go in that direction, you might as well lean all the way into it, and I think that's what they're trying to do, and especially with a talent like Grayson Waller, they're just probably trying to throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks with them. In the words of that man, W.H. Park, his gear is shit. I'm not a fan of the gear, not a fan of the gear at all. But
yeah, it's Jake Paul. This is what we kind of like. He's dressing like a boxer. It makes sense that this guy is a heel though, because he's been walking around almost like a baby face, and it's been so weird because he's so unlikable. But I think maybe he's finding somewhat of a stride, because I thought the match was pretty good.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I mean, I think I started this show off wrong. I'm taking a swerve because just before continuing, what are some of your thoughts, Andrew, on NXT 2.0?
Like I don't think the product is like geared towards me. So like I don't like I kind of figured that from probably after the second episode. I kind of just quickly realized that this is not a show that a professional wrestling show that I'm probably gonna be like that invested in. So I don't like sit here and like hate watch it. I just kind of just watch it for what it is and cover the news from it. But I mean one thing and Wade had mentioned this when we did daily news podcast together. He sort of made a good point. It's always a bunch of news coming out of these shows, like always. There's always a bunch of news coming out of these shows. It never fails. Like week after week, it's always something. Like I mean, so they had people talking some way, whether it's bad or good.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. NXT always was like that, but I know what you mean. Like it's a completely different show than when it was. Obviously, it makes sense. It's a developmental system. It's kind of going back to what it was years ago, but for someone who's for not someone but many people who were invested, not only watching it week to week, but like just watching again these takeovers from the past where they're selling out arenas and like they were killing it, and from going to that to what's this guy's name, Grayson Waller, you know what I mean? Like the news coming out of this isn't really news to your a lot of your wrestling fans, because they're like, right. I don't even know who these people are, so why should I care if they're in a War Games match? Then again, and when you watch the show, you're like, you know what, this guy does have something. But it's like they went back to square one, and it's still in this weird thing where, why should I care? Why should I watch this show? Because this guy could be let go tomorrow. This guy could be fired right after he comes back through Gorilla. Like, why should we get invested in anything? So it's NXT where nothing matters and everything's made up. It's like you can be fired.
That's a good point.
Tomorrow. So like, why would I get invested in this show? And I'm not I don't usually care about ratings and stuff, but watching it like drop and drop and drop is like, like people don't care. Bringing War Games in might get some interest for the actual show, but yeah.
Bro, it's like it's been said like time and time again since they did this whole reboot. It really is legitimately crazy to see how different the product is compared to even looking back to January or February 2020 pre-pandemic. It's like and I really don't understand them sort of ripping apart the previous version of NXT like you literally just mentioned. They were going to these big arenas, selling them out, packing them out. That's money, business, live gate revenue right there. Like you legit throwing that away. Like I'm pretty sure if they kept around majority of the talents and you put on a takeover event with even the talents that were there in last summer or late last year, you could probably do a good number, sell out a 10,000 seat arena, 15,000 seat arena, and like they literally just threw away live gate revenue. But I should say Vince McMahon more so, because I mean at this point we all know everything going through him.
Yeah, it's just odd. It's a completely different show. I have not been very high on it week to week, but maybe it's just I'm sour. I miss my black and gold. I miss that old NXT, so.
The network days.
The network NXT.
You remember the 1 hour? Oh my goodness, those are so good, good. Good.
I mean, and reminders. What's next? Me and Davey go through the old days. We're going through 2013. Big E just lost his title, and Cesaro and Sami Zayn are feuding. So things are good. Although Bo is our champion, so things change. The more they stay the same. We go to L.A. Knight, who's backstage. He's talking about Grayson Waller. He says, look, I didn't even need to go back and interfere in his match. I didn't need to cost him the match because he sucks, and that's a fact. So he's basically saying Waller sucks because they've been feuding. This is when Joe Gacy shows up, and he says, whoa, the things you're saying, that fact of life you say, that's harmful, and have no fear because the safe space is out there. Gacy and Knight are going to have a match later, and he says the safe space is always open, and Knight calls him a creep, and he says, "Whoa, leave the hostility out of leave it out of here." But Ellie Knight and Grayson Waller then start to brawl. Grayson Waller's going to attack him later. They're going to fight a lot tonight. But it's Kacy versus Knight later in the show. But yeah, setting up the woke guy versus the guy with the cool jacket later tonight. We go to Toxic Attraction, and they're talking about Cora Jade and how she's a poser. They have Gigi say that she probably doesn't even know Tony Hawk, meaning she's not a skater. But you know who does know Tony Hawk? Darby Allin. Just saying. This is when they're like walking now, and they're talking about war games. And this is when Dakota Kai just kind of walks in and starts.
Does she have a Twitch?
Yeah, twitch.tv/
No. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She's doing this like weird thing. Like she just like randomly shakes. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, what are they trying to
I don't
like, is that a thing?
Yeah, it started. There was moments of it in the past few weeks that we were like, what the fuck is that? But now, now it's full. This is terrible. I love Dakota Kai. She's amazing, but this is so stupid. Now she has a Twitch. Is it because she actually is into gaming and streaming, and that's like a funny like rib? Like, how about you Twitch?
That would be funny. That probably would be funny.
Now she's twitching and she's walking. It's like kind of like Mean Girls now, where they're all walking, and then they see this like backstage area is kind of destroyed. There's like broken glass and trash cans, and they're like, "This looks like someone's rage room. What a freak!" And then they like walk on while Kai is still twitching. But clearly, Toxic Attraction, like most people these days, haven't been watching NXT weekly because they've been showing clips of the rage room with Kaylee Ray. So you can imagine Kaylee Ray is nearby. But what did you think of this so far?
Yeah, that was a little nugget you just said. I didn't even catch that. But, the Kaylee Ray rage room stuff. But Kaylee, she's in the U.S. full time now, right? Well, she's been in the U.S. full time for a while now, right? Since like last summer or this past summer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that this past summer she's been in the U.S. full time. So, I mean, I know she was like on a little break. I don't know if that was anything to do with her. But
she wrestled in War Games before. So,
she did. Yeah, she wrestled in War Games before. But I mean, more so like she was like, it was a little gap period like when NXT 2.0 started, and she was like gone for a little bit. So I mean, it's I guess it's cool to see her, back in the swing of things, and she bring her back with her to War Games, and I'm trying to figure out how they gonna fit that Kayden inside that small ass like.
True. True. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. How are they? Yeah. What do you think of Toxic Attraction?
You want to know what? I think that I give props when props. I think Mandy Rose has improved tenfold. I really do. I gotta give props when they do. I think that they sent her back to NXT because they have plans for Mandy Rose. I legitimately believe that. I don't think they sent her back down just to send her back down. I think they sent her back down because they want her to work on her in-ring ability. So when they bring her back up, she'll be able to hang, with hopefully anybody. Like I that's what I think. I think they legit have plans for Mandy Rose going forward. So I think that's why they just sent her back down here to like give her like this little bit of rep time. And then whenever she loses the title, maybe she'll come back up with Toxic Attraction. I mean, with Gigi Dolan and JC Jane, or maybe she'll come back up solo. But either way, I think it is. I think Mandy Rose is more so of a project for the main roster.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I mean, ever since she went brunette, she's just become. She's Okada. She's just on this raw. Mandy with brunette. Brunette Mandy is Okada in his classic trunks.
They gonna clip you on that. That's gonna be on Twitter in 5 minutes.
And then when she's blonde, it's like when Okada had balloons.
The balloon.
Something like that. Yeah, somewhere in there. We go to a recap of the poker room from last week. And, well, Duke Hudson didn't like losing to Cameron Grimes again, so he powerbombed him through the poker table, which it looks like a cool spot. And then cut his hair. He cut some parts of his beard. He cut some parts of his hair. Just really weird. I've never had that happen to me at a poker game or at a casino or something. Where like out of all the things to do, you're gonna cut the guy's hair. All right, but still, he's wrestling.
Like Keanu Reeves.
He looks like it's John Grimes, John Wick Grimes. He looks like him. Yeah, he looks like him.
Cameron Wick.
Cameron Wick. Yeah, exactly. There's a Wick Grimes, something wrong there. Yeah. He comes out here. He's looking a lot more like somber. He looks sad. He's a bit more dark. Again, looking like John Wick here. And he says that, Cameron Grimes has worked a long time. I slept on floors. I've worked I've done everything. But every time I step up, I show people how Cameron Grimes gets down. And I made it. I made it here to NXT. Hell, I even struck it rich. But this is where Duke Hudson comes out. And Duke says, nice haircut, by the way. Looking fresh. Dissing him here. And, sorry, Duke doesn't come out. It's Duke. Duke's on this Titantron.
On the Tron.
And he's getting a haircut. So he turns around. Like he's at the barbershop. And he's like, oh, hey. Almost didn't recognize you there, Cameron. Nice haircut. And why are you mad? You got a lot of money and a free haircut. So sorry, not sorry. Grimes is pissed off at this. So challenges Duke Hudson to a match at War Games. And now Duke is a little taken back. But they make this match a hair versus hair match. Ooh. And Duke says, fine, I already took a little off the top. And then he reveals a baggie with Cameron Grimes' hair in it.
So disrespectful.
Hair and wrestling, man, just, oh.
They should shave Duke Hudson and put him in a tag team with Harlan.
Put him in the safe space? Yeah. Are you excited for this hair versus hair match at TakeOver? It's official.
Yeah, it's gonna be something. Like do you think they can just go all the way and just shave Cameron Grimes since they halfway there? Like at this point.
I guess.
Can you imagine like Cameron Grimes with a fade?
oh, maybe you're onto something. True. Bro, maybe you're onto something. Because, Cameron Grimes has had this long hair and the goatee. Like, he's looked this way for a while. Obviously, it suits him. But you're saying it's Cameron Grimes who's getting shaved.
I can see it. Like, I don't think they probably... maybe they would, but I was just like, they already, like, halfway there. But, like, shaving them down, so you might as well just go all the way through with it. But,
Damn.
they probably cut Duke Hudson. Like, I'm pretty sure they... I'm trying to think because I'm gonna go with Grimes. I think Grimes gonna be the one that's gonna get his head shaved since they already like halfway there. Or maybe they just go the route of like letting him get his revenge. I mean, you go either one to be honest with
you. Yeah. Duke Hudson getting shaved. He doesn't have that much hair, so it could grow back. But if Cameron Grimes wants to go back to like,
he got like the golfer like country club slick back. A lot of chicken oil in his head.
Oh man, just shave it. Yeah, it's really weird. It's definitely a match I didn't expect to be seeing. Still not a takeover. They're not calling this takeover, but
they ain't taking over shit. It ain't a takeover. It's not a. Yeah. It's on a Sunday, right?
I hope so.
December 5th. Yeah, it's on a Sunday.
Yeah,
on a Sunday. Yep. What a way to spend a Sunday.
Yeah. So Cameron Grimes is gonna have a hair versus hair match. It's Cameron Grimes versus the poker guy, and now it's a hair match. I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. But yeah, we go to Pete Dunne, who's cutting a promo. He's talking Peter Dunne. He's talking about Johnny Gargano, and he says, "I'm gonna send you packing," meaning, hey, you know what the internet's saying about you? I'm gonna make it true. You're gone. And then says, Carmelo, you're absolutely nothing to me, and I'm going to run through both of you. I'm the new champ. I'm the baddest man. And that matches later in the triple threat. But yeah, this was kind of just a quick run-through promo. Pete does sound menacing.
Pete does sign that 3-year deal.
Did
Good
he?
luck, buddy. Yeah. Pete Dunne re-signed with WWE for 3 years.
All right, future champ for sure. It should be him taking the title from Ciampa, I feel.
Ooh, look at that.
He's still pretty young too, so
That's a crazy thing. Pete Dunne young as hell. He's like 20, 25, 26. Same age as Carmelo Hayes.
Nuts. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I would like to see Pete Dunne be a major key player in WWE, but yeah, I guess we'll see. He's gotten in crazy shape too, but he will be wrestling tonight. We go to Indi, Hartwell, and Persia backstage. They're talking about Dexter Lumis and an update on his hand injury. They say that he got some fractures and he's going to be out for over a month. And Indi's sad because Dexter, his hand is broken, so he can't draw, and that's how he expresses himself. So tonight, in honor, Johnny's going to take that title from Carmelo Hayes. Dexter, this one's for you. Meaning she's got a match next up. Yeah, so Dexter with a broken hand. Damn, he can't even draw? It'd be so sad if you couldn't do that. Then we go to quite possibly the most interesting segment of the show. I mean, at least the one that got my attention the most. We see a tennis court. It's a tennis court and with some music playing, and you see someone playing tennis, and it's talking about being rich and successful. We hear a voice, a woman playing tennis. She's talking about a silver spoon, but silver is tacky. And then she talks about her daddy, meaning my daddy and my daddy's club. And my daddy says I'm ready. And Brandon from New Jersey is going to clip this for sure. She then says, daddy's never wrong, and talking all about, success and money, but also tennis here. And then the name pops up saying Tiffany Stratton.
Stratton.
Stratton?
Stratton. Stratten. Yeah.
Tiffany Stratton. Yeah. So coming soon to NXT. A daddy's girl tennis player gimmick here in NXT.
She wrestled on 205 Live last week.
Yes, I've seen now. What did you watch? What did you think?
I saw the clip. She did like a moonsault, like a double hand back spring type thing. Very impressive.
Yeah, I mean the character is very Legally Blonde meets like I don't know some 90210 sort of rich white girl, daddy's girl kind of thing. I mean this show they're trying to gain younger people. Like obviously with what they've been doing with NXT, they're trying to grab onto like a younger audience, but having a character like this who just continues to say my daddy is definitely going to keep that demo there watching for sure for WWE if they continue to just say that. What another silly character we're getting here, but I'm gonna let it play out. Like Tony D'Angelo, classic Italian. Let's make the blonde girl wear a tennis skirt and she's gonna talk about her rich daddy.
She's gonna be doing musical segments with Zion Quinn next month. Guaranteed.
Oh my God! Yeah, maybe tennis lessons. Her gimmick is gonna be like she's gonna quote Legally Blonde, like duh, and she's gonna quote like Clueless. I'm trying to think of all these other like rich white girl. I don't know, rich white girl anthems or something like that. I don't know, but she's going to be playing tennis, I'm sure. But tennis players, poker players, NXT 2.0 is awesome. But
Gimmick Central.
But I'm going to let it play out, guys. I'm going to let the tennis players. Tiffany Stratton could potentially be the savior of NXT 2.0. So let's not judge. And she needs to pull up in like a pink like Lambo or something.
Herbie.
yeah. Just all the stereotypes of all these like rich white girls. She's got to have like her Starbucks. She got to have segments where she's at Starbucks and they get her order wrong. I asked for oat milk, light, medium froth, and like she throws it back. They're gonna do stuff like that for sure. But yeah, great. More characters coming soon. We go to our next match, which is Indi and Persia going up against Kacy, Catanzaro and Kayden Carter. And I feel like Indi here, the story is that she's so upset and distracted by Dexter's injury. She keeps like holding her wedding ring like, oh, poor Dexter. So Persia's keeping to have to do all the work, which she hits some pretty cool big moves. Persia hits this tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Persia's got some crazy big strong moves. Like we've seen her do these like power bombs and power slams and stuff. She's pretty great. But Kacy and Kayden gain the advantage, and they do this like double splash combo on Persia and get the win. It was a pretty quick match, but also, again, they're playing it up that Indi was distracted when earlier Persia was kind of like, hey, if your head's not in the game, like, don't worry, sit this one out. So now that I don't know if they're going to tease up some tension between them or anything, but yeah, pretty quick match, I thought.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think that's probably what it's going to be. They're probably going to tease like a little bit of tension between those two, and then when Dexter Loomis come back, they're probably going to make Indi choose between Persia and Dexter. That'd be like a cool little storyline.
True. Yeah. I mean, eventually we got to get to the Dexter and Indi Index breakup, right? So
Johnny won't be there.
Johnny won't be there. Yeah, Johnny won't be. He'll be watching, maybe. We go to a video for Legado del Fantasma, and hey, there's Santos.
Hey.
He's back. He's not been released. He's here. He's still here. It's a little video hyping him up, saying he's blessed, he has class, sophistication, and he's going to show it a little later tonight in a match because he's returning next. But when we come back before that, it's Andre Chase who's walking around showing his students around NXT for some reason, and they run into Cameron Grimes, and he says, look, students, this is a teachable moment. And when you look like that, you got to have some self-respect because you don't want to be like this guy, Cameron Grimes. He's a joke. So Grimes walks up to him and says, go to hell. And he walks off.
Hey, but you want to know what's crazy? Like, I had just realized this like 2 weeks ago that Andre Chase is Harlem Bravado. I did not know. I had completely forgot it. Like, bro, this dude been wrestling for so long, but like he was like in ROH, but like O'Reilly and Adam Cole and Ciampa. Like, because he looked so different, and I remember him from Evolve too. Like I remember when I was watching NXT a couple of weeks ago. I was like, who the hell is Andre Chase? And I remember I looked him up. I was like, that's Harlem Bravado. Like, cause he looks so different. Like it's just the presentation. I think it is, and that kind of threw me off. But like I don't know why I was so amped when I realized that was him. I don't know why.
He's the most over he's ever been. He's got a catchphrase now. You know what his catchphrase is?
No.
Did somebody say Andre Chase? That's his catchphrase. It's great. It's some good stuff. The GOAT. I guess we're going to see Grimes versus Chase next week before War Games. I imagine. Something
probably
they add next week. To see the new edgy Cameron Grimes in his first match against Chase. We go to our next match. Santos Escobar versus Malik Blade. And Santos is playing up like he's back, and he wants to.
That's his name, Malik Blade.
Yeah,
it's not Malik.
I thought it was Malik, but Wade Barrett definitely does me no favors by not saying that. So, yeah, I assumed it was Malik Blade.
Maybe it's his accent. Like he's trying to say Malik, but he's like Malik.
I can't. I do. We've seen him a few times, but I'm like, I would assume it was that too. But I did hear that tonight, so I was like, all right. But yeah.
Get it together, Wade.
Yeah, Wade throwing me off, man. I do like Wade, but he does throw me off.
Stu Bennett.
Yeah, with their casual clothes here on Tuesdays. So, Malik. They used to dress up, and now because NXT is the kid show, it's like they just wear their fucking tees. It's like, all right, cool, but like you used to dress nice. You used to dress up, so it's just a little jarring to see you just now not giving a piss about anything. But I guess you shouldn't, because you could be let go tomorrow. So fuck. Santos tries to get the offense in right away, but Blade actually like counters him and gets like a few upsets and a series of roll-ups where the ref keeps counting 2. So the match continues. He's pissing Santos off, who eventually gains control, beats him down in the corner, runs at him with the double knees to the chest, kind of like the Elijah Express, and then hits the Phantom Driver, and Santos gets the win pretty easy here.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they didn't go the route of like Santos trying to figure out like why they were trying to find somebody to step into his role while he was gone.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about this because the story is after the match, they all call out Zion Quinn because they want to beat him up. They're like, "Yo, fuck you for making us look like a clown." But then they talk about how Wilds and Mendoza want their tag team titles. They want to be champions, so they're calling out them. But yeah, wouldn't you have Santos be like, "Yo, what the fuck was that, guys? I disappeared for a few weeks."
Now you trying to replace me already?
What the hell?
It was like a perfect setup because like they literally tried to slide Zion Quinn right into his spot, and then now when he's back, they're like, "Oh yeah, we have our leader back. This is our guy."
Yeah, so weird, so weird. So they call out the tag titles, but then Von Wagner and Kyle O'Reilly come out.
Hold on, Braden. Please give the breakdown of this Von Wagner promo, please, because the way that he said dumbass was like the most methodical, slow paced
Dumbass. It's like that 70s show. I don't even know what he's going for.
Oh my goodness.
Von Wagner and Kyle O'Reilly. Vaughn first of all, Vaughn says, "Hey amigos." And then Kyle jokes like, "Wow, I didn't know Vaughn knew so much Spanish."
That's not funny.
Oh
That's
my
not
god.
funny.
No.
That is
Kyle
not funny.
should not Kyle doesn't need to be doing this. Is Kyle going to be even at War Games? Kyle should not be here. Kyle, you're sick.
He counting his days, bro. We got like 4 more weeks left.
Bro, trust me, like not even trying to make the joke, but they killed Kyle. They need to get him out of here. Go to AEW. This is so bad. Fuck.
Talking about hello amigos.
But it's not over because they're yelling at them like, "Yo, you cheated. You cheated last week, and we want a rematch." When Imperium show up, and they're kind of on the perch for those who remember that perch thing we had, and they're there and they're talking. I think Fabian Eichner's speaking some Italian, and Marcel Bartel is like, "Look at these guys. They're second-rate languages. They're like all these people. They're stupid and ignorant." And Kyle hanging out with his friend Lurch, which definitely got a big pop from me. Adam's Family reference. And then Kyle says, "Si, bueno." So he's still speaking in Spanish. Anyways, Imperium are like, "Yo, you both want to fight us. So next week is a tag team match for #1 contender shot at War Games. So next week, to see who's going to be that team, Kyle and Vaughn versus Santos. Sorry, not Santos, but Legado del Fantasma. And the winner faces Imperium. But yeah.
You think they probably go the DQ route, 3-way?
Yeah, I would imagine let Kyle. I'm imagining he's going to wrestle at War Games and then probably get out of here. Yeah. Oh, take the pin, you heartless bastard. You're probably right.
Yeah.
No, that's what Joaquin Wilde's for. Come on.
I can definitely see Kyle probably take, but nah. I think that's probably gonna be the route that they go. Probably do a 3-way. And they probably have Kyle and Vaughn lose the match, and one of them take the pin so they can save Legado versus Imperium 1-on-1. I mean 2-on-2.
Yeah, someone in the Twitch chat saying that they wish Kyle and LA Knight were switched spots for this War Games because, as we'll get to, there'll be a War Games match announced. I wonder, you could split Vaughn and Kyle and put them on the War Games too, but then that'd be 5-on-5, so I don't think they do that. But it's just weird that if in fact this is Kyle's last match in WWE NXT, it's going to be with Von Wagner in this. It's odd. It's odd, but this segment didn't work for me. It was really odd. No thanks. We go backstage and it's Cora Jade hanging out with her War Games team, and it's Io Shirai. We see Zoe Stark on crutches hanging around, and Raquel Gonzalez. And Cora says, "No, let's not do this coexist thing. It's boring, it's played out, it's old, it sucks. We got to be on the same page for War Games."
Look at Cora, the voice of reason.
Yeah, the youngest one here is like, "No, guys, we got to step up. No more of this coexisting shit. We need to coexist." I love how everyone makes fun of the can they coexist, but then they still continue to do it.
Bro, WWE, that was literally the theme of Survivor Series. Literally.
Can they coexist?
Can they coexist? Hey, Braden, I gotta be real with you. I've like completely fell out of favor with Raquel Gonzalez. I don't know if you saw her her like tweet that made the rounds over the weekend. She's apparently a big Kyle Rittenhouse fan.
Yeah.
I mean, when I like really think about like, I mean, she's from the South, so I mean, I'm not saying everybody from the South like that, but like most people in that Texas area, like they believe in their free whatever bear arms or like, and like, I mean that's you know what I'm saying, that is what it is, but like I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah,
I'm trying to watch what I say, but like,
no. You're totally low. That's totally cool. Yeah, I saw that this week too. So,
but the thing is, bro, it's like, it's with some of these, with some wrestlers, like not even just in WWE, but just wrestling overall. Like when I see people who sort of lean towards that side and like are in favor of these certain things, like it's like I'm not surprised. Because when it comes from some people, but like it's like, dude, like you so ass backwards, like it's like ridiculous. Like the fact that she would like even like I know that she's no way that she's not aware that people can see that stuff. Like it's no way that she doesn't know that people can see that stuff. So that means she probably like just confidently liking it, like, and you know what I'm saying, like, and for her to have coworkers out there who, you know what I'm saying, who are people of color, black people, Hispanic people, like different ethnicities within the workplace, and for you to sort of have that one-sided mindset, and I think it's clear as day that like tweet says a lot. Like I know people will be like, it'll probably be some people out there that's like, oh, you know, it's just a, you know, but I mean, nah, bro, I guarantee you that's probably how she thinks about most things. She probably in the same same pool, same mindset that he is, Kyle Rittenhouse. And
right.
Like, I don't get how you can even want to be remotely associated with that. Like I think just especially like we at a point for real in this country where like I think it's like probably it's saddest the fact that this dude killed two people, white man killed two people, and he got off and like nobody was shocked. Like, do you know how crazy that shit is? Like, this dude literally killed two people, bro, and he got off free of charge. He just took two lives and got off free of charge. Like I just like, that is like the craziest. Like the craziest shit about it is like just a lot of people not even being surprised. Like when I saw the verdict, bro, I like it. When I say like I was not shocked in the slightest, disappointed as all hell, of course, but like it was just one of those things. Like I immediately knew he was gonna get off, and I can only imagine roles reversed. That was a black man.
Yeah, that's all I keep thinking about that. Yeah,
that was another person of color that was in that same scenario. I guarantee you they probably would have been taken down immediately. Like it wouldn't even have got to the point where they would have the opportunity to stand trial. Like the fact that this dude gets to walk scot free, and like you look at even just some of the things that have happened over the past 2 years alone. You can go back 5-6 years and look at all the tragedies that have happened. But like when you just see some of this stuff, bro, and you see how things like just unfold in America, like it's sad as fuck, bro. Like just to see how things have become so like not even become, it's been like this racism in America, not become, but like more so how things have just become like so blatant now. Like they don't even trying to hide the fact that like the shit is like racism in the system is so fucked up, and it's people who like, oh, you know, it's nothing wrong with the system. Like there's everything wrong with the system. The fact that you have a white male who literally walked and killed two people, took two lives, bro. He killed two people, and he is walking away scot free. He gets to go home, bro. There are people in jail right now doing 5 to 10 years for having a bag of weed on them.
Yeah,
you know how stupid that shit is. Like it didn't fuck around and make the shit look like you know what I'm saying? It's bro. I sometimes I really question like this country is like in like the most bottom of the bottom barrel shit that we go through in America. Like even with Cal, like and not the, you know, I know I'm gonna get back to the NXT stuff, but like but like but when I was like, it was last year, I want to say, there was this dude from DC, and his name was Dion K, And this happened like legit around the same time. I would say like within the week that the Kyle Rittenhouse situation happened. It was like 2 days after, or 2 or 3 days after the Kyle Rittenhouse situation. Deon K, he had Kyle Rittenhouse, exact same thing, was posting his guns on social media, but that's just a white kid doing his farm thing or whatever he was doing. Like his family had like his family had land, I guess that's what it was. He was out there doing this thing, so that's all fine and dandy. And then it's literally the exact same situation. Deon K, blackmail, doing the same thing on his social media, and that I think the police had pulled up on Deon K, and he tossed his gun while he was running, not at the cops, but he like tossed it, and then they shot him and they killed him. Like he wasn't running towards the direction, and like and then when I look at the Kyle Rittenhouse video, I remember vividly, like this dude literally walking down the street
with the gun
in his hand, and then you have the pedestrians yelling. He has a gun in his hand, and like people are like the police are like looking for somebody else, but this dude is like legit walking around with an assault rifle in his hand. Like so this, bro. This shit is ridiculous, bro. Like
I can't get that visual. It's the visual of him walking with the gun that actually really irked me as well, because I'm sorry, but damn well if he wasn't a white guy, if he was a black guy, he would have been shot right away. But the fact that they're like, this little white kid's got a gun, and then to see the proud look on his face for killing people, terrible. And then you see this like Razzie winning performance on his trial where he's crying and bawling and stuff. Like, sorry, man. I hope he has a hard time in life going out in public because people recognize him. How the fuck Zimmerman, get out free, but this kid's free. Like, it's just fucked. It's like, if you're a white guy, you can get away with this shit. And I know you brought it into the conversation because of wrestling, and it's a form of entertainment that there's millions of people who watch and stuff. You shouldn't be doing that, because that creates the thing. It's like, maybe you are a fan of these people and you say that, you're like, oh, well, that fucking rubs me the wrong way. I don't want to support you if that's something that that's publicly out there. Like, she knows it's publicly out there. So if you do that kind of thing, then like, people will find it and people will see it. And a lot of people, maybe there's a lot of people that agree with her and stuff.
That's true too.
They probably really loved that new Kid Rock music video that came out this week, and bless them. Like that's totally wrong. And it's the same thing with like the Undertaker. Every time he wears his stuff on, I'm like, yo, I mean, like, come on, man. Like, look, I'm a pretty left person, but I like seeing things from both sides. But when you're someone who's in such like limelight and stuff like that, it's like you're choosing to do evil, man. Like to show people that like she not only does she do that, but she's posting pictures, hanging out with. I know she's married to Braun Strowman. Is that like right? So it's like, yeah, it rubs people the wrong way. It definitely rubs me the wrong way. I can't say I was surprised, but
I think that's most of the thing. Like, I'm not really surprised, but it's just more so like you would think somebody would have like at least more common decency considering like the workplace that they're in, and it's kind of you have a diverse group of people around you. You would think that would kind of shape shape your mindset a little bit better.
It won't matter. In a year, she'll be on the main roster, and she'll be like women's champ and all this stuff. Because a lot of them in this company, they probably have views that way.
The thing is about the company from the top, like that's how they view. Like, I even saw the people had the chance, but the Big E was on the Breakfast Club, and I'm really glad he went on that show. I can't believe I'm saying that about a Charlamagne interview, but they asked like some really good questions. Like, they asked him about like how it is working for somebody who is like very outwardly and openly supportive of Donald Trump when he was president. And Big E handled himself in the best way could, in a way to where he could be honest and be very truthful without the same time going out there and basically fucking over his job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I think he handled himself like the best way he possibly could in that interview. They asked like a lot of like good questions pertaining to pro wrestling and like racism and wrestling and things like that. I highly recommend people go check that interview out that the Breakfast Club did with Big E. But yeah, man, like I think that just comes from the top down bottom. Like Vince McMahon is, heavily in favor of, things that I don't agree with, and it's not even necessarily a right or left thing. It's just like these people are just like most of these people are just like fucking idiots. And
that's what I mean. That's what I was saying when I said that. It's because it's like, sorry, but I see the right and wrong of a kid who killed 2 people and is gonna be mad chilling when there's so many different things. It definitely irks people the wrong way, and especially if people are in the light and they know that their supporters are gonna see this and maybe she doesn't care.
She probably don't.
She probably doesn't care. So yeah, it's up to people if again, do you separate the I think Chris Jericho, he was one of my favorites, but do I agree with a lot of the stuff he's A, said, or B, maybe even done, that I'm like, but I really loved you in WCW, so you were great.
Jericho's wife was at the Capitol January 6th.
See, that's Too bad Riker
something.
wasn't released earlier, because he probably would have been there too. So be sure to see him this year. I'm sure he's booked on the show. They booked him. They saw he was released as the 90 days up, January 6th. I got somewhere to be. Jackson Riker.
I legitimately hope he gets no fucking bookings. No. Him and fucking Drake Warts tag teaming on the Florida Swamp independent scene.
Oh God, yeah. I hope he's doing all right too. Shout out Drake.
Drake,
Younger, whatever.
He crashing those town hall meetings in Florida. You ever seen some of the videos?
Oh, of course. Of course. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I'm from the 6. There's only one Drake in our lives here, and it ain't Drake Younger. All right. Damn. Well, welcome to our TED Talk. Thanks, guys. Got real. But, it had to be said. There is definitely, Raquel is someone who's on TV right here. And maybe that's why that's why Dakota Kai's twitching. She's like, I can't believe I was friends with you. I can't handle it. I don't want to be in the same program with you. Could you make me physically twitch? Because I'm so uneasy about being around you. So,
storyline connecting the dots.
Yeah, I mean, Raquel with that tweet about the whole thing, but then posing with pictures of guns and stuff like that. It's like, yo, are you saying you're gonna go like it's just yeah. But she's gonna be going to war in War Games not this weekend, next weekend. Raquel will be in the match. So we have now I'm forgetting where we were, but they were gonna coexist is what we were talking about.
Yeah, they were in the locker room segment.
That's right. We go to, is it Tony D'Angelo, who is being interviewed backstage, and he of course starts off with and talks about Johnny Gargano, who sucks. He calls Petey Poppin. He's a fugazi. He's a fake. And what did he call Carmelo Hayes? That Goomba? He says he's the only real one. He says, but I'd throw some money down tonight. Pete Dunne is not winning. Trust me. Put money on it. He says, you know that ring you got there, Mackenzie Mitchell? Go bet it, and you'll get something even bigger, because I'm telling you right now, Pete Dunne's not winning tonight. Put the money on it.
Taking a shot at Vic Joseph.
Yeah. So he's promising us that Pete's not going to win tonight. Fugazi. You like Tony D'Angelo?
Big fan of Tony.
Yeah. Big fan of Big Tone. He just does all the stereotypical Italian things.
But it's funny how the support he got was initially sarcastic, and then like people actually started to like him. I think that's like kind of hilarious. Like the fact that he like organically got over. Like I think at first people were just trying to be funny with it, but then like I think people actually really started to like him. So I think that's probably one of the he gonna be. I'm interested to see how he sort of falls in line whenever he gets called up. It's gonna be he probably gonna be sliding in like a 24/7 title picture or some shit like that. Like so.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I could see that. We go to our next match: Cora Jade versus Mandy Rose, the women's champ. This is all because they're in the War Games, and Cora's getting an opportunity to face Mandy here. She gets some offense in early, hits a beautiful enziguri to Mandy, sending her in the corner. Mandy powers back, though, starts beating her down. There's like these clubs and the knee strikes in the corner. Then Mandy puts her in kind of just a rest hold, a body scissors here. Cora comes back with a running Rana. Wade Barrett mentions he was just casually scrolling through Mandy's Instagram, as one does. But this is when Kaylee Ray comes down, and it's a whole distraction, which allows Cora Jade to get a roll-up on Mandy Rose, and she's pretty shook by this, the big upset from Cora Jade, and it's kind of revealed now that Kaylee Ray is kind of going to help with the other team. But Cora Jade with the upset on Mandy Rose, kind of a quick match for me. It was the bulk of it, maybe just this body scissors, but what did you think?
They setting up the title match post-War Games.
That's right.
That's what it is. Cora versus the younger upstart, Cora Jade versus Mandy Rose. I definitely think Mandy's probably going to retain, but this would probably be like I think they're probably going to go the long game with Cora, especially what is she like 20? 20 years old?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, she got time, and in WWE, if they choose to, keep her around and stuff like that. So I feel like they just gonna play the long game with Cora, and like they probably tell like the underdog story, her being like the youngest NXT Women's Champion. I'd say probably like summer 2022.
Okay. So not yet, but you're saying the program could still happen.
Oh yeah. I mean, it probably won't be Mandy. It could probably be somebody else, but in that spot. But I definitely think they probably gonna circle back around to Cora and like give her a run with the title.
Yeah. Well, I'll say they do a segment a little later on where they're all backstage, and Kaylee Ray walks in with Io, Cora, Zoe, and Raquel, and she says that she's in to help at War Games, and she's gone to war before. So Kaylee Ray, Cora Jade, Io Shirai, Raquel Gonzalez versus Toxic Attraction and Dakota Kai. The Twitch Kai. Dakota the Twitcher. Yeah, just weird. We go to Carmelo Hayes backstage. He's cutting a little promo here. He says he's not stressing about his triple threat later tonight, even though there is more of a chance of him not winning. But Johnny Gargano, you say you've been here for 5 years like it's a good thing. Damn. He then says, Pete, you have 10 years experience on me, but in the background, Trick says, boy, you look 40. The best thing Trick said in his entire career so far. Definitely the funniest thing he said. Hayes says, you're the same age, but doesn't matter. I'm the future and the new school. I am the new school. When Melo shoots, he don't miss. A solid promo from Carmelo Hayes. I know I said Trick made me laugh here, and I'm happy that it wasn't Trick cutting the promo. I cannot stand Trick's promos, but like I said, he actually did something I really liked on this show. So this promo is great. Carmelo does not need a mouthpiece. He needs a heavy, because Carmelo is a very good talker.
Bro, Carmelo Hayes is like really coming to his own, like especially since this rebrand of NXT. I felt like it was gonna be a slow burn in the previous version of NXT, but they were still heading somewhere with him. It doesn't feel like he was just like a throwaway talent, and he's definitely like stepping into his. I think coming out of especially this even though NXT is completely changed, I am kind of glad to see Carmelo, former Christian Casanova, really get his shine, because he was really like really solid on the independents. Like I remember I forgot what show that was. I think it was the what show am I thinking about? The For the Culture show. I can't remember if that was 2020 or late 2020 or early 2020. Can't remember which one right now. But yeah, man, to see sort of his rise over the last couple of years or so is like really impressive. Like Carmelo Hayes is hella talented, bro, and I think it's like really shining through. I'm glad to see him getting this opportunity.
Yeah, no, he's coming together definitely. My criticism has been that he talks so good. Why does he have this other guy doing the talking when the other guy kind of is out there fumbling? Whereas when it's like this position where it's almost like he's as heavy, he's his hype man, that makes more sense. And Hayes is a strong talker and a strong wrestler. But yeah, definitely coming to his own. We go to Joe Gacy, who has a little insert before his match up next, and he says, open the eyes of the blind, and he's going to show the world the safe space as the hand of Harland is on his shoulder, which leads us into this match. Joe Gacy versus L.A. Knight, but as L.A. Knight comes out, he's attacked by Grayson Waller, who's pissed off from earlier, and they start brawling and fighting. And Gacy grabs a mic and says, I have to apologize to all of you. I apologize on behalf of LA Knight that he couldn't handle his problems peacefully. So now he's just standing in the ring by himself. No match. When Diamond Mine's music hits, out comes the whole squad with Malcolm Bivens. And he says, get your thesaurus reading ass out of here. And
hey bro, real quick, Malcolm Bivens coming out with these one-liners every week is hilarious. Like he told Odyssey Jones a couple of weeks ago. He was like, ain't no way your big ass 205. but bro, I'm telling you, bro, Bivens like
so funny.
See, it's really easy for me to pick apart like some of the the stuff that I really don't like about this NXT 2.0. Like it's just not it's not tailored to me. But like to see certain people get these finally get their breaks is really cool. Like people have been begging for them to do something meaningful with Bivens for a long time, and like now he's finally in that role where it feels like he's not an afterthought. Like he feels like a legitimate part of the group. So I think that's a cool thing. On top of what, of course, what we just talked about with Carmelo Hayes getting his shine as well.
Yeah, definitely. I love Malcolm Bivens. I think he's hilarious. I think Diamond Mine is something that's slowly working. He I think it's Joe who says, look, I don't have respect for Roderick Strong. And they're all taken aback. And Joe Gacy continues, Roderick Strong showcases toxic masculinity. Because that Cruiserweight title is an example of inexclusivity. He says the Cruiserweight title is weight shaming. That title is created to divide. As the crowd start to chant, shut the hell up. Roddy says, shut the hell up. I don't care.
That crowd divided the 205 Live roster and the main roster. So it definitely did divide. That damn Cruiserweight. But I just like thought about this like as you said it, bro. 205 Live is like what?
What is it? It's Evolve now. It's basically the Evolve show. The purple thing. Just put all the other people, put all the new people on it, the kids on it. Even more so than NXT 2.0.
That show was like the biggest drop off ever. But yeah, going back to going back to NXT 2.0 with Joe. What do you think? Do you like? Not that you like, but like, did you find anything interesting about the Joe Gacy character, like at all?
Whoa, I'm not liking your negative energy, Andrew. This is a safe space here at upNXT. Yeah, it's ridiculous that they're working a woke character, but bless the guy because he's going forward with it and kind of making it something that's interesting. It's super funny. Like, explain to a non-wrestling friend this character and see what their reaction is, because I think that's what WWE is going to be going for with this. Like, well, it's going to get a rise out of someone, whether you think it's funny and go, okay, yeah, all right, or you go, whoa, that's weird. What? That's fucked up. Like, there's a few ways about it that people will react to it, and the fact that he's using all these buzzwords and stuff, yeah, like toxic masculinity. But what he did say here is kind of funny, because he continues and says, like, look, this title, it's not inclusive because it's only 205. So Roddy, in great Roddy fashion, says, I don't care. I want to embarrass you. And the big money match is Joe Gacy versus Roderick Strong. I don't know if that's the big money match, but it's happening at 205. At War Games. It's official now. Bivens agrees and says it's going to happen. So they're going to waive the Cruiserweight 205 Live weight class, and they're going to have this match for the title.
They need to get rid of that shit. Cruiserweight title, but the cruiserweight division is finished. They need to get rid of that, bro. But just rebrand the title, like naming like the NXT. I don't know.
I feel like you could get rid of a title. I feel like if Melo is the guy to beat Ciampa, they could put the North American and NXT together, like unify it. But then where does that leave the Cruiserweight? So the Cruiserweight title definitely is just chilling on Roddy, I guess, for a while. I mean, so this match is happening at War Games, but like, is Roddy just gonna eventually get dumped out of Diamond Mine?
See, I really don't know like what's to come for Roddy Strong in the next couple of months. I mean, he's like, I think the Diamond Mine stuff is where I feel like out of everybody from that former guard of NXT, I feel like he has sort of transitioned the best in the sense of like he doesn't feel any different from what he was prior. Like in the previous NXT, I feel like everybody else kind of went through this sort of like weird adjustment like in phase, and I feel like with Ciampa, I mean Roderick, like he's like literally the same, and maybe that's just more so because he has the group around him. But Diamond Mine, and to be honest with you, bro, I actually like Diamond Mine. I like the Creed brothers. I feel like they beat the shit out of people.
They're awesome.
Like I say,
the Creed brothers are amazing. They should be on the path to be a big force. Definitely, they should spend some time in NXT, win the titles eventually. But I see them being a big deal in WWE. Just their wrestling alone had me from the jump. So definitely into that. I'm just like, what's with the Cruiserweight title and Joe Gacy? It's just kind of all over the place. I feel like Roddy Kushida. I don't know.
It felt like just match filler, like fill out the card.
I guess, which is weird because I felt like I didn't quite get that Roddy Kushida match I wanted, and now we have Jacket Time and Kushida should go too. Kushida shouldn't be here either, but I feel like it's just a weird match, but maybe it'll be good. Joe Gacy can do some pretty cool stuff, so I'm willing to give it a shot, but definitely strange. That's the pattern here on NXT 2.0. Again, nothing matters. As I was saying, we go to MSK on their journey to find the shaman. So I don't know if you've been following, but they've been going to different places. They were trying to get a bus. They're trying to go find the shaman to get their groove back because he knows everything. He's the all-seeing. And they're driving now. They've been driving to find the shaman, and they see the lights. They see the sirens in the back. They're being pulled over, and they're terrified. The officer shows up at their window. Hello, officer. And he says that, do you know the speed limit? And they say, yeah. Well, he says, you've been going 7 miles per hour. Mm-hmm. 7. So the officer says, step out of the car. And he sees that Wes has one of those fanny packs that are pretty popular right now. And he says, excuse me, sir, can you empty out that bag for me? And it's all of a sudden this like opera music leaning into that they're shook, that they have to open the bag. They're so scared. It's getting intense and growing. The music is getting louder. But then a car flies by and the cop says, whoa, never mind, guys. You got off free. I got to go get this guy. Have a good night. And they're free. They're safe. And they say, whew, that was a close one. And then when they cut back to the announcers, Beth Phoenix goes, I don't get it. What's in the bag? And Vic says, I'll tell you some other time.
Hey, Braden, I wanted to ask, did you hear the story about why MSK was getting booed at Full Sail?
Yeah, we've been talking about how is it because of Izzy's crew. All I know is Lindsay Dorado definitely shut them up, I think.
Hey, bro. Lindsay was...
Lindsay Dorado, Izzy's dad is feud of the year, hands down.
He told him to link up.
Yeah, that's fucking funny.
After he won a wrestling tournament or a mixed martial arts tournament?
Yeah, it was like a fighting, wrestling, MMA or something. Yeah, crazy. What do you? I don't know. If I was at Full Sail and I saw these promos from MSK, I'd probably boo them too. This is a show that is totally not marketed towards me right? It's totally they're trying to go for this younger demographic. However, the one character on the show the characters on the show that I might identify with would be the stoners. And I think every week I'm like, why aren't the stoner things like hitting? They're even like going, oh, the bag, it's got weed and stuff. Like they keep doing the not hitting stoner stuff. And again, it's just, maybe it's not for me, but it's just not clicking. Like, sorry, I thought the same thing about Matt Riddle. I was like, oh, you're really hitting it over the head when Michael Cole says, oh, he's smoking in here or stuff like that. But when Matt Riddle rides out on a scooter or Matt Riddle comes out on a camel, I'm like, okay, that's fucking funny. This, I'm not quite sure. Like, who is the shaman? It's not going to be John Morrison because he's recently gone. Is it Triple H? Who are they going to find here? Who is their shaman that's going to put them on track? Because I don't know what I like these guys. They have a likable factor for me. I
do too.
Yeah, I think their wrestling was good even before WWE, but I think they could be a tag team here in WWE and go far. But these things don't make me laugh when they're specifically supposed to be the comedy, like stoner skits.
Yeah, I'm mostly tuned out doing some of the MSK stuff, but it's not just them. It's like we've said repeatedly during this podcast, like this NXT 2.0 show isn't really geared to us for what we like in our professional wrestling, and I don't think it's like that interesting. But with MSK, I feel like there is more they can do. I feel like they're one of those teams, or they're just a group of those talents that are just trying to figure out themselves in this new mix of NXT 2.0. Like I even feel like when they were champions, they were still trying to somewhat figure where they fit in a way, like fit just as far as like their overall presentation on TV. But I feel like they were starting to get the hang of it, and then boom, they switched to the NXT 2.0. Like maybe, and I say this so hesitantly, but maybe a move to a Raw or SmackDown might help just with the old, because they're so energetic, and I feel like they can add a great deal. But we know how tag team wrestling is presented on the main roster, so I don't think that's gonna do them no favors. But yeah, with MSK, man, I feel like this is the NXT 2.0 way of trying to generate some backstory or some type of like, hey, we want to know where these guys came from type of thing. Like they've been doing that weird shit with Grizzled young veterans, like they stole from Uber drivers and shit. Like what do you know what I'm saying? They just doing like this weird stuff, bro. Yeah, it did. There you go.
It sucks. It's a shame because I think these guys are talented. I think they are funny, but maybe they're they have one or two lines in it that maybe that's like the bits that they're allowed to like improvise or say and stuff like that. But the whole premise of it is very, very weird. And I know they did the Rascals stuff, but that was more so the Smokers thing, like that 70s show.
Yeah.
I think that those are silly too, but those are a bit more, I guess, I don't know.
It's cool. It feels cool and less forced.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like is the Shaman Matt Riddle and they form a stoner alliance on the main roster? Like, where are they going to go with this? And there's I guess they're more free with talking about weed without talking about weed in the WWE, but which like, hey, cool, make it like normalized and stuff. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I'm someone who's like, yeah, I have a fanny pack. I keep my shit in the fanny pack. I keep my grinder, my papers, and my cushion in my fanny pack. But when you're like dancing around it and making it feel so like, I don't know, like kiddish. It's like when you're like 16 and like, oh, he's got weed in there. Oh, he's so edgy. It's like, come on, man.
The shaman is Boa.
The shaman is Boa. Oh, you just solved it. That's it. You just solved it. Yeah, and they're all vaping in the back on the volcano vaporizer. Mei Ying's chilling.
With Mei Ying.
Yeah. They're hitting that good. Damn.
With Mei Ying.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, bro.
That'd be some crazy shit.
Did you see the report about Mei Ying that PW Insider put out?
Yeah, she changed her name, right?
They scrapped the character.
Yeah. Oh, we've been saying that they scrapped the character. I mean, later tonight we'll get into some more Boa. Don't you worry. But I mean, the shaman thing would be funny. But we need shamans. We need a shaman, and maybe they'll bring someone up and give it the character to them to be like the third member of them. I don't know. But Fanny packs are in style, these days. They are back in style. We go to Ivy Nile, who has a matchup here against who? I don't know. I did not catch this person's name, and every time I tried to hear who it was, I couldn't figure it out. But Ivy Nile is facing her. Usually John Ceno's in our Twitch chat to let me know, but he wasn't watching tonight, so that means I just don't know who this person was. But enhancement talent is what they will be called, because Niles just beats down on her. She's doing push-ups while she's laid her out. She's then beating her down again. There's like a counter where she gets Irish whipped into the ropes and then just lariat, which turns her inside out, which looked great. There's then this like body neck scissors and then doing crunches, again just posing and showing how jacked she is, and eventually locks in a dragon sleeper. It was pretty quickly, but Ivy Nile gets the win for the
it was Valentina Rossi, I think that's who that was.
Was it? Okay.
Valentina, she's been on 8. She's the Rick Rude. She's doing the Rick Rude thing. She's on AEW Dark sometimes, and she comes back and does some NXT spots.
Okay.
Making the rounds, man. Making the rounds. Get it how you live. Get it how you live.
The real Forbidden Door. NXT 2.0 Forbidden Door.
Connected to AEW Dark. That's how we do it.
Fire Frank in the chat says it's Yulisa Leon.
Oh,
I don't know if that's the same person or not, but yeah. Again, a squash match. That's what all NXT... they called her that. Okay, Yulisa Leon. But another squash match. What did you think?
I think it's just another rep for Ivy now. Like I feel like they are trying to make sure that Ivy now doesn't get like swallowed up in Diamond Mine. Like she's just not like another background character. So I think these like type of showcase matches are good for that. So like she doesn't just get lost in the shuffle and just doesn't become like another person. Like sometimes I legit forget Hideki Suzuki is like in the group. Like I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like I mean, but like the thing with Ivy now is like her being the only female in the group. I feel like it's very easy for her to get sort of lost in the shuffle. So I think it's kind of important for her to get showcased more than most of the other talents in certain situations. Just off the strength of that, she doesn't get lost in the lost in the mix.
Yeah. She's got a great look. She looks like a beast. So I like a good dragon sleeper too, but need some impressive moves from the power lifter down the line. We go to Solo Sikoa, a video for him, and he does it. He does what me and Davey have been asking him. He's been in his promos on this show. He's been talking about how he's, been fighting for himself, been on these streets and fending for himself. That's been the whole premise of this, the streets champion. But here he says, there's no down since day no ones, meaning the Usos. He says, I'm walking alone, and I know I'm walking alone, so it doesn't matter. I did it, and I'll always do it by myself. I'm here to fight anyone. I'm the streets champion, Solo Sikoa. I like that as well. Streets champion, like the people's champion, but also mentioning the down since day one-ish and the Usos. Me and Davey have pretty much said that this guy, all he does in his matches have been squash matches where he just hits the hip attack in the corner and the splash. He's doing all the Usos, the bloodline stuff, so he's a lock-in to just eventually go up to them in a year or so to join that whole squad, because he looks like the Usos with the dyed hair.
Bro, the day he joins the bloodline is going to be a really solid moment. I hope they don't wait too long to do it. Like, I mean, they acting like Superfly 2 is like some. I mean, not just because you in NXT 2.0 don't mean you a rookie, but like, dude, Superfly 2, like he's very, very well. Like even if you've seen him prior to the, the blonde hair and stuff, he literally wore the same gear that the Usos wear on the Independence. Like he with like the all white Air Forces, black sweats, black shirt.
Yeah.
Like he looked like the third Uso.
He is.
Like,
he looks just like them, but with Slim Shady's haircut. It's like it's what he's got. But he's pretty good. But I like that he actually mentioned this, because it was kind of weird that he said like he basically is like, yeah, my family deserted me. So he's like, yo, no down, day one down ish. I'm walking alone. I walk alone.
You want to know what's funny? It kind of makes sense when you think about it, because they all went to WWE, and he was on the independent scene, going at it by himself for the most part. I mean, he had Jacob Fatu and a couple other people, but Yeah, like I think that kind of makes sense. Like when you really like weave it in and think about it, like they sort of did leave
They
him.
left him.
Yeah, they left
They
him,
left
man.
him, but he's got to prove himself. We go to Grizzled Young Veterans backstage. They're getting ready for a match next, but some guys walking by on a cell phone, and then they rob him like without him knowing. They pickpocket him because at NXT 2.0 contracts, you need to rob people to eat, is what I learned from these GYV segments. But then as they're walking, the fight between Grayson Waller and LA Knight is still happening. They're fighting all around backstage. It's like here comes the pain. They're just fighting and all that stuff, leading to more stuff as GYV walk off. Then we go to Boa. It's a video for Boa. We get the subtitles here. He says, "Something has come over me. I don't know how to control it. Mei Ying passed her spirit to me. It comes and goes. I have no control. But once I gain control, you will all bow to Boa."
The shaman.
That would be so good if he's the guy. But yeah, so we were correct. He has been possessed by the spirit of Mei Ying. And it cuts to like him without the face paint and the him with the demon face paint. So possessions, tennis players, poker players, woke people, NXT 2.0 really has it all.
Like a Comedy Central special.
It really is. It's a mixed bag here. But to even add to that, how about some real American bros? Brooks and Jensen. Oh, wait, is that the one guy's name? Brooks Jensen.
Brooks Jensen and
Josh Briggs.
Josh Briggs.
Yeah, all I know is one of their shirts says BJ on it. So how could you hate these guys? They're going up against GYV, and we get, is it Brooks in there? He's hitting like a shimmy and shake punches like Road Dogg here. The GYV are isolating them, being heels, and the crowd's booing them. Gibson is beating down on Jensen as they cut to picture-in-picture, and LA Knight and Grayson Waller are still fighting. They're still fighting. James Drake in the middle of the match tweaks his leg and he sells it, so the ref kind of tells them to back off, but he's selling the other leg now, so he gets caught in his lie as he gets greeted with this butterfly into a backbreaker, kind of like the Welcome to Chicago. And then a high-low, like a drop, a leg clip and a clothesline. Briggs and Jensen get the win.
Yeah, man. They got the W. It happened.
Yeah, it happened. Yeah, I was about to say, this didn't do anything for me.
Nada.
It made me go, man, Grizzled Young Vets, you guys were great. Zach Gibson on the mic and the in-ring work, everything you guys had was just going great. You even had scarves, and now you're jobbing to these guys. I do not like Brooks and Jensen since they're pairing here. It's so basic, and I don't know. Yeah, any other thoughts?
No, not really. It's Grizzled Young Veterans, man. Like they, like, can you believe that that great tag match they had with MSK earlier this year was like almost 10 months ago, 11 months ago.
Yeah.
Remember the one they had at the Takeover show?
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. They should have been the guys who took the titles eventually, but
Yeah.
Just weird. I don't know if they're gonna go back to UK or be one of these released. Like I'm thinking now, people are gonna be released.
They full time in the US, bro.
All right, we'll see. We'll see.
They,
Brooks and
now
Dunne.
they still in Uber Eats.
Yeah, now that
But a life, they still in Uber Eats orders.
times are hard out there in Florida. You're coming from another country. The pounds to American dollar conversions. You got to steal.
Florida men steal Uber Eats. They like Uber killers.
Solo Sikoa is gonna see what they've been doing. He's like, yo, you guys are street champions too, yo. You guys work in the streets too. Let's be a team. We'll all work.
That's a bad joke.
Everything about this is bad. I hate this. Like, it's so dumb. Like, if Grizzled Young Vets aren't stupid with this whole like stealing thing and everything, this Los Guerreros ripoff, then you got them fighting. Then you got them, but then you got them fighting these two guys who just look like two guys with their plaid shirts with the sleeves ripped off. It's like, fuck, man. Like, I hated it. I hate it.
Is this how the show is with like you and Davey, like but for most weeks? Because I told him from time to time, but like, is it like consistently like that pattern of like y'all get to a point in the show where y'all just trying to make each other laugh to keep it going?
Well, lately, yeah, because we can't stand. I think even NXT 2.0 is finally breaking Davey, whereas I've been kind of like negative on it for a little while, and Davey's slowly like, okay, I see what you're saying. So this is my friendly reminder: we do BD Elite every week, talking about AEW Dynamite for free. So guys, we don't just watch NXT, because trust me, I don't want to sometimes. But yeah, we get announcements for next week. It's going to be Kaylee Ray versus Dakota Kai in a ladder match, and it's going to be War Games Advantage.
I'm looking forward to that. I genuinely looking forward. I think that's going to be a good match.
Yeah, definitely. I imagine Dakota gets the win because the bad guys always have the advantage in these War Games kind of thing. And then, are you ready? Because next week it's going to be the first ever Joe Gacy all-inclusive invitational.
I genuinely wonder who was like coming up with these ideas for Joe Gacy. Did you see? I don't know if you remember. It was like a month ago or so, or maybe when Joe Gacy first debuted his gimmick, bro. He was getting so much coverage from like these like right wing news sites. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like when I was covering the news for posts, like I was scrolling through the feed, bro. This dude was getting so much like coverage from that side, and they were like, debuting his Vogue character. But like this, going back to what you mentioned with the all inclusivity battle royal, I don't even want to see what this is. I can only imagine.
No, he's gonna have the Joe Gacy all inclusive invitational is either he's gonna face someone who's definitely not like a cruiserweight, so like someone bigger, like maybe like an Odyssey Jones, or he challenges a woman to a match and Ivy Nile comes out because the Diamond Mine.
That'd be something.
I don't know. Something because he says it's all-inclusive invitational, so he's got to be very inclusive here. Everyone can fight him next week, but I wouldn't want to fight him with that scary guy behind him.
Even the shaman might take his chance.
Boa? The shaman Boa. That'd be a sweet gimmick. Like, give him a stoner gimmick, too. Like, go full hard with it. Like, the shaman. And he's like, I don't know. Let's go to our main event. A part of the show I actually did enjoy, which is the main event of a triple threat North American Championship title on the line. The champion Carmelo Hayes defending against Pete Dunne and Johnny Gargano. And, of course, Pete Dunne, Johnny, and Hayes are fantastic workers because it's all go from the beginning. We get Pete and Johnny doing all sorts of counters for counters. Eventually, Pete drops them both into this like double submission at one point. There's crazy clotheslines. There's a clothesline springboard thing from Mello to both of them. Gargano hits a running DDT and Zagiri combo. There's running Ranas. There's the guillotine leg drop from Carmelo where Johnny's like hanging on the ropes for a near fall there. Again, just so much back and forth. A really crazy looking triangle from Pete, but then there's a slingshot spear from Johnny. The classic bitter end counter into the DDT, spiking Pete there, which again, crazy. But he's then hit. He gets back up and is hit with a code breaker. There's Pete, of course, attacking the fingers and the feet. There's a poison Rana from Johnny. There's lariats back and forth. Finally, the bitter end from Pete Dunne does connect on Gargano when Tony D'Angelo runs in and attacks Pete, breaking it up. And the commentary are like, oh, he was talking about he knew that betting odds, that tip-off that Pete wasn't going to win because he was going to attack him. All this leads Johnny in the ring. He's getting up and is hit with the flying, like, scissor kick off the top that we've seen Hayes win many a times, and he pins Johnny to pick up the win in this triple threat match. There's a little tomfoolery afterwards, but what did you think of the match first?
I think these three work really well together. Like I even going into it, I was like, this is probably gonna be a good match. Like you just got three people that just seem like they would click well on paper. Yeah. And then like even when you see the names, you probably think they have a good match, and I definitely think they deliver within the time constraints that they had, and I think it was a good way to, you know, get Carmelo a win, while having that finish involved in the way it was to, you know, set up the War Games match. And it's really interesting to look at these things because we all are clearly aware that Gargano's contract reportedly expires next month. So this could very well be like the last, like you said earlier, Braden. This could be his last NXT TV match for all we know, and
Right.
maybe War Games might be the end all be all for Gargano and NXT. So it's interesting to look at this stuff with that in mind. But as far as the match goes, I definitely think it was a solid match. I'd be interested to see if they like a part of me was kind of thinking, I was like, maybe they probably try to run it back at some point. But you know, just for what they did in this match, I think it was really solid, and it was a good main event with even with the, you know, the finish involved, even though it was just leading up to the War Games match. But it was a good match.
Yeah, everyone kind of it did kind of showcase Pete and Johnny. That's kind of why I got that vibe. It was kind of like he kind of knows it's gonna be his last TV match here, so he was pulling out some stops. But either way, all three guys putting on a show. Carmelo Hayes is definitely a star in the
100%.
making. Yeah, for sure. But same with Pete. Just all three are just talented wrestlers. This is exactly what I like from this show, and it seems they only give it to me in the main event slot where I just want to see the wrestling, and instead we're focusing on so many other silly things. But I get what they're still trying to do, but this is still the part of the show that I keep saying every week, like, oh, the main was good because it's featuring someone like a Dunne or a Johnny or a Hayes. So all three killed it. But it's here to set up this because it's all a big, huge brawl. There's Tony D'Angelo and Pete Dunne fighting. We got LA Knight, who's running out there with Grayson Waller. And then we get Ciampa's in there now because Carmelo Hayes is beating down on Johnny Gargano. So it's all this craziness, but it seems like it's a 4-on-1 because it's LA Knight, Grayson Waller is on the other side. When the sirens go off, the war sirens, and out comes Braun Breaker, who has a microphone. He stands with the new guard of NXT here and screams, "War Games." And then it breaks into absolute chaos and dogs and cats living together, absolute anarchy, and NXT goes off the air. But yeah, our War Games looks to be set here for the men's War Games too.
Yeah, there you go, man. Old school versus the new school.
That's it. The new school, meaning Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, Tony D'Angelo, and Grayson Waller versus Ciampa, Gargano, Dunne, and LA Knight. Damn.
Yeah,
Johnny's going to be in a takeover. He's not been in one. In a War Games. He's not been in one. I mean, neither is Tony D'Angelo, Grayson Waller, Braun Breaker, and Hayes. But
I think this match is actually gonna be like surprisingly like better than. I mean, I don't think anybody's expecting it's gonna be bad, but I really think this is gonna be a good match. I feel like they're gonna tell a good story.
well, it's the new school versus the old school. So obviously it's like black and gold versus, and then LA Knight, who's just randomly kind of in this mix. I think.
Yeah, but LA Knight being in there is kind of
Weird.
It's something. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's NXT from this week, which sets up War Games, which looks like, again, it can be an okay card, but it looks as if it's Imperium versus Kyle and Vaughn, or Legato, or a triple threat. Roddy, Gacy, Grimes, Hudson, women's War Games match and men's War Games match. It's not quite up to the old school takeover cards, but hey, it still has some sort of interest from me and from some people.
Yeah, but for me, my interest isn't like Pete, but you know, I think the War Games concept is something that always sort of catches an eye, but like
Yeah.
it's kind of dimmed down considering like it's not what it once was as far as like talent wise, but you can't sleep on the talent, you know, in this match because I think very highly of Carmelo Hayes. I think Gargano's proven in the ring.
Yeah.
You know, again, I don't know what the hell LA Knight. LA Knight in there, but you know, he's there, and Pete Dunne is a great talent, man, and I think if they just let Braun Breaker, you know, just sort of come into his own a little bit more, it'd be just fine, you know. As far as NXT goes, I don't, you know, prayers up for him if he goes to the main roster, but You know,
We're gonna get the curtain call with DIY in the ring together one last time as Johnny leaves.
who cries first?
Johnny.
There you go.
Johnny for sure. That was NXT. What did you think? Any overall thoughts? Because you kind of, we seem we're kind of on the same page. Like a lot of the stuff isn't working, but you can see that they're going for this like developmental thing. Like to me, most of the matches are these squash matches, and then maybe you get a main event that has some sort of time, like 12 minutes or whatever. But what do you think?
Yeah, just development. Like with most of these NXT TV reviews, like even when I go on other podcasts and do them, I feel like it's just me and the other person just trying to like pop each other the whole time.
Oh,
like,
100%.
and I feel like that's. I mean, we had some like some serious discussions, but like as far as like even the product and even off the product goes, but like I think we're just very aware that it isn't geared towards us, so we're not like hate watching it because we already know it's not like it's like whatever. But
yeah.
It's some solid spots on the show, man. But again, it's just not geared to me. Like I just find myself falling asleep during the show sometimes. But I mean, I do that for Raw too. So
yeah, I mean, it's turning into that. I don't know why this show is still 2 hours. I hope it never goes 3 hours. But I can see it coming off TV, being back on the network, and just being 1 hour, just because of what it is. But yeah, kind of still just NXT 2.0 just floating on with this War Games coming up. It has some interest, but yeah, my interest in wrestling I think is just elsewhere these days. There's just so much other stuff that you can watch and appreciate and stuff. Andrew, I appreciate you, man, coming on. I know I put up a feedback thread on the Facebook, but we're so late right now. So guys, thanks for writing in on the Facebook group, and you should join if you're not already, people. upNXT group on Facebook. We let you in and we post funny things and feedback threads. But there's not too many feedback. But I'm tired, guys. I'm tired, and we'll read it next week, I swear. But I'm saying that the love is there. But Andrew, thank you, man, for joining me tonight and filling in for Davey Portman. Let the people know where they can find you. Plug your stuff. The floor is yours, my good sir.
Appreciate it, man. Just go follow me on Twitter, @Thompson__, and my interviews at the Andrew Thompson Interviews YouTube channel. And go check out my written work at the Post site, and go subscribe to the upNXT Patreon.
Hey.
Subscribe to the subscription service. Well worth your money. Good people, and they review this show every week.
Thank you, Andrew. We definitely gotta do some more shows. I seen what you've been doing. I love what you've been doing with Martin Bushby as well on your wrestling adventure. That stuff is awesome, and you're killing it on the post stuff and your interview stuff. So from one to another, man. Thank you for all the great content. And we're part of the same post wrestling family, and there's nothing more important than family. So that's what's up.
Shout out to Boa. but nah, man, like, hey, Braden, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like this NXT too, not the review. Doing the review with you actually kept me up.
Yeah,
but like the show,
yeah,
itself, it's just not the same, bro. Like it's
NXT is dead. Everyone gets mad. Everyone gets
bro.
mad at me when I just say NXT is dead and everyone should go be all elite. But I don't know. That's just the way it is. That just be like that sometimes.
It's not the same, bro. It's not the same.
No, you're all fooling yourselves. Shout out Johnny Gargano and Kyle O'Reilly. I hope we get to see them in greener sides. Hopefully.
But must bid those two gentlemen farewell. They had a great run.
NXT had a great run. It used to be good. Used to be hot. Now it's mid. So it ain't about it. Guys, thanks for listening and supporting us here. Follow us at upNXT Podcast on Twitter. And the Twitch group, the Twitch people tonight, that was awesome. I liked hanging out with you guys. Every Tuesday we do it. Usually every Wednesday, but we're not going to be doing one tomorrow night. But every Tuesday, Wednesday, we go live for upNXT and Be the Elite. Follow us for all that stuff as we record this show. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, hit that subscribe, hit that 5-star review. Give us a nice little cheeky review. We appreciate it. It goes a long way. And follow us on YouTube. The replay of Survivor Series Draft 3 is up, and all these other podcasts. So many shows and so much content, and we do it all for you. And we love and appreciate you. Andrew, my friend, I love and appreciate you too. that's it. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And let's all cross our fingers that Boa is the shaman. Good night.